course, I mean, like you guys are saying, these got legends in the server. I don't know if they all expected to be here and playing for a grand finals, but that's the head-to-head we get today. So they better seize the moment.
Without MongolZ or Aurora here in semifinals, I have a totally open mind as to who's going to make it. There are a number of storylines, though, that'll be exciting for the grand. So no idea who's going to win today, but I don't really care.
Let's find out. Falcons and FaZe, thank you for your extended analysis, by the way, folks. Appreciate you guys over there on the desk. A little delay there. The Steam server, how dare they slow us down. But the semis begins, Mohan. We no longer wait. And we've got Falcons kicking it off CT side. Not often we get to play Nuke out of the gate as a pick, but FaZe have gone ahead to send us there. So let's see what's up. We get Nico outside. A classic. Obviously the change-up in FaZe since Elise joined and Rain no longer playing this position. And, you know, a Nico versus Rain outer performance would have been a fun head-to-head. Nico at bat first. Ooh, insta-gush. And then the clean shot from Frozen up above. And that's going to be 3 bodies to get down Secret. Kerrigan a little bit later, but Bomb is down there. And TeSS, easy pickup. Rain goes jumping over. Nobody actually looking over top of the stairs. So TeSS floats here for a second. We hit a minute, he opens doors. And his teammate upstairs still waiting to see if somebody from FaZe comes his way.
Man, he found a good timing where it looked like he might have disappeared. But now he actually might go forward with the push in Secret. Rough moment here for FaZe. It's going to be weird if they're ready for this. Kicksands catching flanks, more FaZe players are dropping. That's free.
Well timed. Bullet to the back of the head of Frozen, so unfortunately here for FaZe, looks like Pistol stalls out. Unless Elige can pull off the masterclass. We've got 30 seconds to the clock. This would be the 2v4. Him and Brokey have both been performing better this week. It's why FaZe have the star power that they have at the moment. Elige gets another one to open up this site. Brokey's gonna turn his back. Nobody considering this vent play, but Magus, he's dropping his moment. A little bit of chip damage on both, but neither player dropped. 2v4 down to the final kill. TeSS, who got his clean downstairs, somehow has to get them out of this. They go for the double swing, and they don't get him in the open. Fast step out of TeSS. Burning a bit of time. Brokey also whittled down to 40. Now TeSS executes one. Brokey's low. Health advantage, TeSS on for the 4K in the pistol, trying to chase it down. Brokey shuts him out.
Damn.
And it's a FaZe 2v4 to start off the semis.
That's a pretty good clutch there for Brokey. Got scary for sure. Had to take that swing. TeSS looked like he knew exactly how to handle that. Nice kill on Elige. Really, obviously, poor moment there for Magus on an individual level. In terms of his recent events, he's kind of tied for like a 0.92 across the last 3 events. We'll see how the rest of this one plays out, but it's weird because we've actually seen some maps where his aim looks incredibly sharp, but he's still not able to be better than, you know, like MZinho when they played against MongolZ or other players who have countered his anchoring positions. So he's had a rough one. At least he's on a winning team, though. They're buying him some time.
Yeah, buying him some time by buying him some teammates.
Yeah. Hunter, the other thing about this is you brought up Brokey and Elige.
Yeah.
The best rated players for FaZe at this event, which is huge and makes perfect sense. But Elige is actually, his worst map is Nuke by a huge margin. So he's got a great rating on average, but he's basically never had a very strong Nuke map so far with FaZe, which definitely makes sense. But it's also a map that they win pretty often. So
no successful ratings despite seeing him in different positions as well, right? They've been trying to give Elige a bit of a comfort zone in this iteration of FaZe Clan.
Yeah, like he's got a couple of good maps versus Saw and Astralis, but none of their top tier competition. He almost always struggles.
No takeovers. Single door swings, and we've got this layered defense. Smoke in front of them. M4 on the field. Okay. No way they just clean it up like that. FaZe Clan win pistol, walk down into this very healthy pie. That armored M4 of Nico just sweeps them away on single. And FaZe Clan walk into their deaths by walking into the Falcons trap.
That's a pretty fantastic setup. That position always calls Antares where Nico was, and if you think someone's there, you really don't even consider coming decon side. Like, that's just such a great spot to take a swing. So the double lower setup works out extremely well. Frozen will have to save this MP9. Kerrigan no nades with his Galil, but that's good enough. Very good setup here from Falcons, preemptive to lower.
One step ahead of it, and I mean, they make that one look easy. Read them like a book. Obviously no swing out from the double doors either, so it's just an all-in move from FaZe Clan. They move into the wrong part of the map. Any part that's got Nico on it at the moment feels a little too tough to handle. At one point, top 3 rated player at the event. That one got kind of muted with his poor performance in map 1 of the last series.
Nico kind of intimated that him and Kerrigan maybe one day will play again, and they've got the same view model, so is that foreshadowing?
What does he know that we don't? Was that Yanko's way of telling us Falcons are going to buy Kerrigan next?
Yeah, I feel like it was.
Cover your ears, Kixan.
Oh, man. This is a huge... Whoa! Nice. Nice from Testis. I mean, he knows his teammates outside of heaven, but he still approaches that carefully.
It's a nice P250 kill from Brokey with the bomb on his back. MP9 out of Frozen finds one. We are in a 3 versus 3, so that stacked up B bomb site that got Falcons on the board early no longer looking as cemented. Dexter, though, great positioning just over top of smoke. Frozen gets hit by a truck, never sees it coming.
The trick smoke.
And now Brokey's got that flashbang thrown out just to try to get the bomb back site. Elige looks to create a little more space with the kill, and that will guarantee the bomb plant. Now, we've already got the clean P250 kill from Brokey. This would be a huge ask to win this duel against Dexter, but he dinks him.
Oh.
And he comes back into Kickset. There's a world where that P250 finishes it off, but this timeline has Falcons with 2 players standing and converting like FaZe couldn't.
Yeah, I mean, Prof brought up Brokey's return to form, and it is stark for this event. And it kind of validates a lot of the conversations around FaZe and Brokey, where people have basically said he's obviously a critical player. He always puts himself in important spots. And because he's missing, FaZe are also just not going deep in tournaments. It almost feels like it reduces to Brokey because of how good he is. And we're seeing them really reap the benefits of him being on point. That's everything from the clutching to the opping, by the way.
Okay. Oh no. Nico recovers that, shoots his teammates. He's got bloodlust. Jump scare moment there for Nico. He handles it well. Very swift on the reposition. And the chase is still on, though. He's kind of fumbling the nades, but still they'll try to charge down on him. He's into the cover with support now from Ramp. Tesses quick to come down.
Oh my goodness. The
P250 vent wallbang. Don't see that every day. Serves up a little distraction here. Tesses slips down into dark. Now that Dexter's got that layered defense and the kill to Elige. Looks like the pace of all this, the electricity to the FaZe sprint down into B comes to an end. Kixan hangs on to top control, and there they are, stuffed on the approach. 3-1 start to the CT side of Falcons.
Easily done. I mean, this is such a good start here for the Falcons. We got all the right pieces firing off. You know, Kixan's going to have 1 pop-off map out of 3, and it might be right here on Nuke that we see that. Great start to the day here. You know, FaZe at this point, I think all the fatigue's worn off, all the doubts worn off. They're literally thinking now we can win this event. Like, no one thought we would even get the semis. There were so many teams here that were favored above us. But if Falcons are going to play like as well as they have in the last 2 days, this will not be a free route to finals. Crazy that we've got 2 lineups with supposed roster moves. Alleged roster moves taking place after the event, both in semifinals.
Can't believe everything you read on the internet.
And the other 2 teams have, you know, players that used to play for the other orgs.
Oof.
It's been an incestuous revolving door of talent among these rosters.
Time for some new blood. such as a 20-year-old Kazakh operator named Molodoy.
Such as 4 Academy Spirit teams.
Yeah, just get...
They need to put tariffs on those.
Yeah. Just hogging all the young guys. TSS trying to make something happen in the 3 versus 5. Goes for the lobby flank. Gets a kill, but does come at a cost. He'll be down to 29 health. Can Dexter snap this upwards?
Oh!
Not quite. And his head just over top of the box, so he gets wrecked.
Ooh.
Magisk's going to go down on A empty-handed.
Lovely from Elige.
And that's going to be an A-bomb site wrapped up. Now, there was that quote that the desk brought up with Magisk saying, you know, it's not about me, it's about these players, X, Y, Z, giving them more space. Giving those players space makes absolute sense. But just because they get the space doesn't mean you can drop the ball mechanically. That USP kill from behind the vent could allude to a slow day in the office for Magisk.
He was given space to TSS for that clutch.
Yeah, okay. I don't think TSS wants that much space.
You need to exercise some gratitude, Connor. You can't see a gift
Okay.
from a mile away.
You know? I think TSS would appreciate it. Maybe just a 1v1?
I mean, go back, watch the MongolZ game. You see how important Magisk was just to be able to get his kills because they came to him so often. Yeah, that's definitely an excuse. As an anchor, absolutely. You know, if you have a 1.09 rating on the year as an anchor, you're a damn good anchor, right? You know, you're not going to be getting numbers like Manasi Zaiwu or Simple or whoever, Simple, or, you know, Donk. But he's still below, way below, you know, a star anchor or a player that's is overachieving in his role. Definitely not.
Sitting at a 0.96 in 2025. And under pressure on this A site, as FaZe will target him to collect their second. Up to the ramp, real quick. Brokey, you've got TSS coming at you. Oh, he checks it intermittently. And TSS finds just the right amount of timing, just enough space to slip away 5v4.
Crazy.
So TSS off to the races again today. A 7-3 start here on Nuke CT side. Looks good on him. And this is a TSS who, you know, again, if we're to believe the rumor mill, is also out there.
He's tidying up the place, right? He's trying to make himself look good here before he maybe has to find a new lineup. And he's doing a damn good job, him and Dexter for that matter.
There it is. They didn't see anything on the first, but they'll break it open twice, and Dexter collects. Not to mention damage onto Rain here. Nico sensing that pack of players crossing outer behind the wall. All you need to find is the one. You get an inkling as to the likelihood of FaZe Clan's movements. And while Kixan sits over towards Single, MP9 in hand.
So impressive the way that Falcons have been playing so far. And even though FaZe have picked up a couple of rounds here, I actually feel like Falcons' rotations have been even stronger. They've looked like they've been in control of rounds. More timings.
No plans.
Yeah, that's it. Nothing. No plant. A fourth round here for the Falcons. That's actually really easy for them. I mean, you look at that. There's barely even a duel where FaZe shoot back.
Yeah, they scamper away on the cross spam. It all starts with TSS feeling ballsy.
That was a little awkward. You know, I mean, it was like Brokey was watching most of that push, but he did have clearly a blind spot on the right side of the smoke.
It's a wall of smokes outside with nothing behind it, so a sudden pop into upper by the looks of it. FaZe 5 strong in lobby. Flash for Kerrigan. Out it goes. Kixan, he's got to try to chase the guy sprinting down beneath him. Magisk's gonna let him have that bomb site. Plant attempts going down. Rain almost gets away with it, but Dexter quick to scoop him up. And that's 5 to Falcons early.
Yeah, another good round where, like, even though Kixan dies instantly after the one kill, there's just so many players there. They don't even get the plant off. Like, there's very, very, very good cover and support from everybody here rotating. They're running a tight unit right now.
I think Falcons are very hot to the trot in some of these rounds. You know, whether that's making opening moves like TeSS, just getting into trophy without wasting time, but also just reacting to the little pieces of map control FaZe are getting away with. Very fluid-looking Falcons.
Very aerodynamic.
Ooh, Magisk's turn to make a play. And wastes no time. A lot of disrespect coming out of the Falcons in terms of these smoke pushes.
Oh, that bounce is crazy.
Dexter's been having some crazy bounces. It giveth, it taketh. That Mosquito defuse back on Ancient.
The way Elige is comfortable dueling an op.
Okay, headshots starting to return this round back into the realm of possibility. Kerrigan's gonna walk outdoors. Oh, he recovers that. Magisk catches him by surprise. And Kerrigan still gets the kill. 18 health, walks away towards lobby. Kixan's gonna go for the chase, but as he chases this, you've got more of FaZe Clan's members coming back.
It's a good push, though.
Doesn't look like Kixan will get out of here for free.
He doesn't need to. He's got Squeaky.
Okay. Even better. A kill on Kerrigan would have been one thing, but now, if they let their guard down, he's got more to collect. Double kill, and that damage done early onto Kerrigan could serve up a triple here for Kixan. Molotov to burn him wide, he'll spray him down. 3 kills from the in-game leader of Falcons, getting active as his whole team has all map long.
It's excruciating. It's another moment where Brokey is like, he's checking it, but doesn't check it and clear it all the way. It's right after Kerrigan falls out of Squeaky, too. Oh boy, small moments of timing, small gaps, watching angles. And so you could say, you know, slightly unlucky moments for FaZe, but you also have to point out like how quick Falcons have been to recover space. I mean, even that early on, I think the first rifle, or the pistol round, in fact, it was TeSS who found the right moment to come back up the secret stairs and flanked him outside. Very in tune with all of FaZe's decisions. Okay, well, what have we got here? Half buy coming in. FaZe need to get this together. There doesn't seem like a strong case for this round. We do have a lot of utility, though.
Goes around, comes around, TeSS. Better be careful. You poke and prod that smoke one time too often, they're going to come swinging at you. And that's the plan here for FaZe. But again, you know, Swift to help out. But it falls silent. It's fine. TeSS seems comfortable. You know, there's nothing too bad going on outdoors. Just Nico leaning along main. Rain gets close. Tech9 is so clean. Nice shot out of Rain. Now he can put pressure on Dexter, which opens the door for the ramp plays. But the fact Dexter strikes down the outer player, you can have ramp. That's the concession Falcons are willing to make here in the 9th round.
They do have 2 smokes, so getting downstairs is viable without taking over control side, which is going to be hard with these pistols. The fight is given up, but TeSS, that's an AK.
Didn't see that one coming. Kerrigan just steamrolls in.
Express delivery.
Rifle given up. Elige, Desert Eagle. Can he join up with Kerrigan? Does he want to?
They're just playing separately.
Flash over towards the stairs. Kerrigan just waiting for them to step up. And as they do, Magisk just fast with it. Elige, Desert Eagle stuck in the corner. Magisk arrives on the scene. The double up out of the windowsill, and everything's going swimmingly here for the Falcons. Seems like they can do no wrong, you know, even with FaZe Clan getting an opening here and there. Seems fine, protocols in place, and everybody picking up slack if anybody happens to go down. I mean, Nico gets blasted out of this one with a Tech9 bullet, no problem, because the rest of this unit from Falcons is making up for the fact that you've got Nico sitting -5 and 6.
I mean, yeah, they've got like levels here, and I think they're not even playing scared. They've been lower when they need to be. They can multi-kill on multiple players, even if it's not Nico. And I don't know. Yeah, FaZe needs to go like that extra distance, like in that 2v3 situation, playing it 1-1. They didn't know that all the Falcons would be joined up on control side, but maybe there was a more creative decision they could have had to try to even the odds.
Dexter's been able to capitalize on opening these smokes, but that one goes a little too far, and he would have exposed the guy right in the open.
Big time.
Elige able to cross over, they pinch him. It's a targeted split that comes at the opera of Falcons.
Some noise made right here, but Elige going underneath, that's going to be a free kill, right?
Okay, he gets there. A little bit wild, especially for somebody like Elige.
Yeah, that was crazy. Clearly a decent decision, though.
Sprays away through the vent. Well, metal.
I just almost called the animal control. It's like, who's this wild animal running around outside? And Elige, yeah, he's scary because you never know he's going to take his next duel.
It's the bald eagle up in heaven now. Kixan decides to press out from Hut. He's worried about Squeaky, but it's Main that's the bigger issue. And Elige connects into TSS as well. So here we go. This is a much better round out of FaZe Clan. Starts by pinching into Dexter, isolating a duel outside, and then getting Elige to follow forward with the momentum.
Yeah, that's already, I mean, FaZe are down 7-2 at the moment, now 7-3, barring some kind of miracle. But, you know, 10 kills is pretty much on par for Elige maps on Nuke. So he's showing us something super strong. Hopefully FaZe can capitalize on it more. Nuke's not a map you often see first picked. Kind of refreshing though.
I don't know why. It feels like we're at the end of the series, starting off with Nuke.
Yeah. It's just a series ender, man. That at Inferno.
Here we are. Meanwhile, we've got Mirage as a decider if we need it. We haven't seen FaZe Clan on Mirage since February. So, a little mystery here sprinkled into the formula.
A little mystery Mirage? Nice. That sounds like a good ice cream flavor.
It actually does. Like a rocky road.
Yeah.
But, you know, not too many bumps for the Falcons so far. This one's been smooth sailing. Sonic's going to come through with his second tack. Excuse me. First tack pause of the game.
Is it? Is that how that works?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that means 2 remaining out of 3.
Oh, right. Okay. But it's not on their second.
I was confident. I'm always confident until you ask. But I feel like the game hasn't slowed down.
Yeah.
You know, I'm looking at the scoreboard. There wasn't a reason to pause.
Yep. You're right.
Yeah, I am right. I am right.
But what would it say if it was their second? And
It'd say 1 out of 3.
Oh, and then it would be 0.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You're right.
Right?
You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. You're right. I'm like Littlefinger, just causing chaos for no reason.
Are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure you want to stick around here, Frozen? Because you've got no support. And Falcons have been pretty adamant about poking these smokes. So he better keep his guard up in the lobby on his own. Kerrigan throwing all the grenades over the top. And Rain also, this is kind of mysterious, right? Because Dexter's been pretty adamant about playing inside of Garage. They don't see any contact. Deep smokes. Oh, Tessas lines it up. I think Elige was stomping, so easy lineup on the audio. What Falcons don't have out of the gate for Outer, they instead look to reclaim with the potential for that secret push. Oh, still just buying their time, 2 players down there, and they should be patient because Brokey's got an op trained on them from Redbox. This push could get held back by FaZe's Opper.
These are great mid-round moments, though.
Oh, perfect timing.
Yeah. Wow.
Perfect lineup. Nico comes swiftly to the top of the staircase.
So perfect with Kixan. He was already out there for so long.
Just nets them everything. Nice change up from the Falcons off of attack pause. It's a different look to their typical outer setups that we've had all half long, and it's one that finds just the utmost perfect timing.
They're playing excellent CS today. They have in their last few series. I didn't think they would survive the MongolZ game, but you got to say they're really validating that. Very close win, you know, overtime on Ancient. TeSS 3K when it looked like that was the end of them. They're showing us that like there's even more to give.
Yeah.
And they fought MongolZ when MongolZ were actually powered up. Like that was the best CS they showed at this event after starting off extremely slow.
There was definitely mistakes from MongolZ and big individual moments out of Falcons, but what I feel today, the Falcons that I'm looking at right now, this is the Falcons I remember playing in Cluj-Napoca. This is the Falcons that went on to get to grand finals and push MOUZ. This feels like the communication, right? Look at the communication between players in this first map of the series.
Oh, you can just see
you can't say that that's what we've had all week long.
Agreed.
You know, with the rumor mill swirling, it felt like Falcons were just tense and not on the same page. That has changed. Because no matter what comes next, you're seizing the opportunity that is in this moment, and that is a semifinals with a FaZe Clan that's getting mopped up on Nuke for the most part. Gunning for the 4th T round of the half. Nico tries to emerge out from a smoke. It's a double entry out of rain. And that's what they needed. A little multi-kill to put that bomb down. FaZe Clan looking for their 4th of the half. Non-consecutive round wins this entire T side. It's been very difficult to break through versus Falcons consecutively. But if you can just sprinkle in a few rounds, pick up that CT pistol, your map pick's still on. For now, retake attempt between TeSS and Degster. You've got a smoke for Degster at some point that's gonna come out. He gets popped though. Nice rifle work out of the FaZe Clan. 4 rounds on the T side. They had to work for it versus a well-oiled war machine on Falcons.
I really enjoyed that half. Again, with the teams today, I don't know who makes it to tomorrow. Without MongolZ and Aurora, I just don't know who's guaranteed. But I'll say this half was maybe a little bit disappointing with the timings that happened early on for FaZe, but so well played from Falcons. Like you just have to appreciate that so much. I mean, the CS they showed here, the way that TeSS has stepped up for this event as well. Him and Degster, I think FaZe are hoping, all right, we start fast today. We show ourselves like we can see ourselves in the grand finals. You know, we're clicking now, but this will be a true test at this point. We can see that if they get by this. Now, numerically, they got a 4-round T half, a pistol, and they literally could forget about how some of those early round timings go. I actually don't think this is the end of the world with a CT side to look forward to. What we're trying to see here for the Falcons is simply that their T side is as good as their CT side because their CT side was pristine. Second best pistoling team at the event, and Anko brought up Falcons are the #1 team to fumble second rounds after pistols.
It's a good stat line to remember coming into this. Haphazard smoke spam out of rain will not connect, and Falcons in a comfortable place. Just close out this pistol. You give yourself a golden ticket to an easy map 1 win. Nico drops vent, wraps back around main. Because that smoke was up, he was hoping to get into this in time. And there is still just enough time. Very quick to it. He finishes off rain. It's a just sea of headshots from the rest of the Falcons. Frozen, nothing he can do about it. Falcons will continue to win pistols, and this one they do damn near flawless. How comfortable you must be to go for that secret wraparound. You just know all the timings are playing into your hand, so long as they convert it.
Once you've gotten there, I mean, there's no sense in a FaZe player going lower at that moment. Fence open. So Nico knows that eventually he can be the one to clutch the round if things go wrong, but nothing does. Everybody hits their shots. Now FaZe have to do, have to try to eco them, which is entirely possible. Again, Falcons have been quite flimsy on these second round purchases.
Thing is, it's just so weak of a buy, right? 0 kills. When we saw the force for Falcons, which they managed to pull off in the first half, well, that was that Nico M4, supported by an MP9.
That's a good point, man. Like,
FaZe don't have that.
A kill is a smoke or a better gun, or yeah.
As far as forces in the second go, this one is peanuts. All shell.
I like sometimes chewing up. No, I'll save it. I don't need to.
You whatever that. What you keep that to yourself.
Life gives you peanuts. Make peanut butter.
Deep shots come out. Smoke is well timed at least. You're down to 40 seconds. I mean, there's one thing where the guns can win this round. There's another one where Falcons kind of trip over their own feet.
They are a little bit.
You know what I mean?
They're taking a lot of time to do nothing right now.
Yeah. I could try to highlight the fact that they don't have the best hardware, but maybe Falcons offer the rope over to FaZe. Magisk connects to Rain first. That's a hut push spotted. There's a second player along that wall. And as long as you play it down with just a little time to spare, that margin of error still exists here. Heaven player a bit late to the party.
They still haven't planted.
Kixan now starts to punch in the digits. You've given the AK over. Galil picked up from the vent play. Kixan off onto the hut. Frag grenade with Elige's name on it. That's how he's going to get it over the line.
Woo!
But talk about close. Unnecessarily close.
They got scared. They got scared. They took a lot of time. They didn't, because FaZe didn't give him a kill. They didn't have much direction for what to do next. They went with their nearest option, which was upper. They tried to go lower. They definitely would have run out of time. So, okay, FaZe, that would have been a massive opportunity. You saw they were a little bit nervous, but they couldn't make it happen. And a similar buy without the nades comes through for FaZe. It was still around with only one alive. Ramp is wide open with the bomb going here.
Ooh. Yep. That's Nico. And this looks like Doom. Kerrigan 5-7s. Bananas.
Oh, it's Doom.
It's not going to get anything going here. Brokey's MP9 still unspotted, so could catch him off guard, but nope. Dexter's plant goes uncontested. Single door yet to swing. Falcons keep this one on its hinges.
It's a bit better, right? They just picked ramp and decided to hit it. Of course, it helps that no one from FaZe was there for this round.
Yeah, that last round kind of felt like, you know, they didn't want to make the mistake of losing in the second round. And maybe because it's been happening often to them, that's why they're a little more cautious.
Great irony of not wanting to make a mistake.
Yeah. We have to be cautious. That caution is what almost costs you.
Maui said actually the other day that good, or what is it?
Would you like to try that again?
Perfection is the enemy of good. And trying to aim for it will, ironically, keep you away from both.
Well, we could be staring at what may be the one and only gun round of FaZe Clan on the CT half. It's at least an op for Brokey, but he is looking like a shell of himself. The version that we've seen in Bucharest, that is. Elish stepped up to the plate. FaZe Clan just, you know, the irony. We just talked about how Elish has yet to have a good game of Nuke on this FaZe Clan. Finally starts to piece one together versus the better opposition, and where's his team? Looks like it'll have to be Elish to at least soften things up in the 16th. Gets a fight versus Magisk. That's the furthest back Falcon. As everybody else crosses to secret stairs, you'll see Rain go down the vent. Elish looking still for some kind of vision outer.
Oh man, FaZe are broke right now. They've got like very low util Less than one full kit. Brokey's first time on an op in this half. It just, you know, he can have great impact, but he's not going to get many chances to do it. Needs to be now, Brokey.
Oh, and there's just so many players holding for the pop-up. There's just a spread of Falcons. Wow. 5 players wide, even if Brokey kills one, which he didn't, but even if.
That was Tarek peeking mid on Dust too.
Yeah, there is an entire unit of Falcons players ready to go, and that's all because Alige, you know, doesn't end up actually confirming anybody outer, barring Magist, who is all the far back and has now been killed. The one casualty here for Falcons. This 12th round could not have come for more, or could not have been freer.
This is a decisive game from the Falcons, man, and even though FaZe clearly are not going to have many chances to prove themselves here on CT side, it's, you know, hard to argue they should have gotten more rounds. They had some chances in that first half, and this was actually a decent setup to at least get some kills. I mean, they just didn't even do that, so what can you say? 12-4 justified here. Falcons 1 away from stomping this first map.
FaZe Clan thinking this Nuke pick was going to catch Falcons. We got some claw marks on the FaZe Clan after this one. This is a no mercy moment in a head-to-head. Four teams remain in this event. 2 of these rosters with rumored roster changes to occur. And so you could find the out for the Falcons, especially when you had tuned in earlier this week and watched them kind of flail around the server looking disjointed, and that's putting it politely. Tapping into the potential we saw. FaZe Clan yesterday had the most dominant win of their year over 3D Max. 5 rounds between 2 maps. What happened?
They squeaked it. 3D Max, they squeaked it.
Squeaked it?
They squeaked it.
Shout out Squeaks one time.
Shout out Squeaks. 5 rounds max.
Four rounds max today.
All right, cue the Dwarf Core.
I've actually requested myself specifically that this is now the only soundtrack at PGL.
Yeah.
So if you are one of the critics, you can blame me. And I say you've got bad taste in music because Dwarf Core is all the rage.
Yeah. You should be going long on Dwarf Core. TeamSpeak issue right now, but talk is cheap. If that's the dance for Dwarf Core.
This is Dwarf Core dancing.
I'm not sure I'm a fan anymore.
I'm gonna do it in front of the camera so production can see too. Show the world, production, I dare you.
Keep dancing.
Okay.
On the way to the mines. It's an honest day's work being a dwarf. I'm glad that these teams didn't see that. might be distracting.
Motivational, in my opinion,
Be
but
hard to focus on the game again after that.
I think Falcons just want to get this one wrapped up. It's a TeamSpeak issue, so it should be fixed shortly.
Yeah, they definitely have been using their communication as their biggest advantage here on Nuke.
Yeah, I mean,
Crazy how good that they've played. I mean, they're obviously making this look like it's their map pick. What a showing from the Falcons today.
I mean, to hell with the rumors. Like, this is actually the version of Falcons that everybody tuned in to watch. Everybody anticipated, I thought, them to make playoffs, have a deep run. Like, they established those expectations after an awesome Cluj. And so it's nice to see it. You know, we talk about other rosters in the past. FaZe, in fact, as one that powers up as events go on. It just felt like the Falcons' communication breakdown was going to be an unfixable issue. Nice to see they can pull it out when it matters, because this is a $1.25 million event. And I think more than anything else, Falcons just looking for a trophy. The PGL circuit gave them their first grand finals. Dexter right back into the action here. That tech issue, nothing but a delayed outcome by the looks of things, because Elige is now down for the count, 4v5, and FaZe trying to get this going somehow, some way.
There was like a single point of failure outside, but Falcons are not even going to use it to cross. They're going to take their 5v4 and just turn it into an exec, it looks like. However, the lobby crunch coming in. Might be a little lack of space. Kerrigan spotting one. Frozen in a good spot.
The pinch looks good, though. Frozen can't hang on, however. Kerrigan going down with nothing. Means man advantage for the Falcons. Dexter awaits Rain trying to get active. And this is just across the board a dominant performance out of Falcons on a FaZe map pick that they seem more than content to be playing out on.
They didn't hear this, it looks like.
3 players coming at him. Brokey will find TessS at least. That was low health. Bomb drop, double kill here for Brokey. Maybe just a little more for FaZe to offer up. No soar. Dexter to the headshot. And that is the version of Falcons that we all want to see. Tapping back into potential, the communication has returned. And that is how they'll pave the road to this grand finals if they keep it up.
Soared in as a flock and just grasp.
Grand final, FaZe from their most dominant win of the year to a map that they just simply couldn't get into. What do you make of that?
I agree, unfortunately. I was really hoping this would be a closer series. I feel like this grand finals is actually up for grabs, and if FaZe wanted to play better today, they could have definitely made it more competitive. But the fact they picked Nuke and made it look like it was Falcons' pick with how well they played that map, it's hard to believe. You had me believe in the game versus Apogee, and then they really did. There was something there, man. FaZe were back for a second.
Yeah, they were.
So, I mean, the series isn't done yet. That's what they got to tell themselves.
And us tell the viewer.
Yeah, we've all got to think that we're going to get a third map here. Come on.
Just do something.
My caffeine hasn't even kicked in yet.
Do something. There we go. Frozen, opening kill. Rain could go unnoticed, but he reveals his hand. That smoke grenade with a little gap on it. Everybody's still for Falcons behind it because they've got no control of anything else. Elige, nice angle. Uses the signpost to find Nico's melon. And so man advantage to the FaZe Clan. Game is on.
Interesting moment. So we'll go back around to B. There is no one pushed down the ramp. FaZe are really concerned about everything at the moment. Kerrigan's flicking around in case there's been a loose piece that's decided to lurk. But what do you do when you get this thinned out? Does Dexter go first? And if he doesn't, I mean, got to have these 2 entries. He's got to pick the perfect timing here, Dexter, depending on how these kills go. Right after first contact. Otherwise, how are you going to make it there in time?
Smoke could make this weird. Quicksand going for the plant on the edge of it. Kerrigan doesn't line it up. Retakes on.
Yeah,
Still.
Dexter got out.
Man advantage. Low Magisk. He hits a gush though on Elige and gives himself a chance for the safe reload. And that flank is slowly but surely getting into position. Degster can't afford to rush this, but that tap on the bomb doesn't get bought. Rain now is actually defusing. Degster comes through. They get him off the defuse. Magisk has managed another kill, and then Kerrigan, who was trying to get his hands on the bomb. For a second there, looked like Degster wasn't going to be able to strike them all down, but it causes carnage, and Falcons win another pistol.
Well, what can you say? Another beautifully played round out of the Falcons. From a massive disadvantage, they used that Degster lurk perfectly, and because they got that plant down without even having to take a fight, because of their smoke and no one pushing down Banana, well, he had lots of time to make sure that he could walk in. I mean, that was a delicate operation, and that a lot of things could have gone wrong and Falcons could have lost, but they pulled it off. Hard to be surprised when, again, they're playing their A game today. That's a very disheartening moment for FaZe.
Had a little confidence going their way when they were just looking down the ramp at players that looked desperate to get into fights, but Falcons knew what they were banking on, and Degster delivers. The Degster TSS show versus the Mongols on Ancient is what got them here. Mongols make a few mistakes and the Falcons capitalized, but I mean, as well-oiled as Falcons looked on Nuke, this is a whole new beast today. Much more impressive version of themselves. They're gonna find that vacant A bomb site now. Plant goes uncontested. Falcons, who have struggled, as Yanko pointed out, to convert pistols regularly. This one, no issue, as it is just USPs out there. Got to be careful to let Falcons build up that early money. See if any deaths happen, but not likely. All's good here for the Falcons camp. 2-0 immediately.
Right away. Degster also high output on Ancient. There's no punish here. Obviously, both teams good maps they're comfortable with. Awkward that FaZe lost their choice, but they'll be okay to play on Ancient, of course. But I understand it completely why Falcons wanted to play here. Let's see how much happens inside of middle. Desk yesterday was discussing Nico. Yanko brought up that Nico's kind of cramped on mid. It's not as nice as Nuke, where he can walk around freely and take his time isolating duels.
Good time flash here from Degster. Pops out onto Elige. Rain double kill put down. And Dexter's even going to find Frozen on that A main activity. Good opening here for Brokey to bring it back. It was looking like the Falcons were going to have an edge. Now it boils down to Kixan versus Kerrigan on B.
They actually must know Kixan's lurk. He often does this. So you can see that both players are over here. This is, I think, just a really smart read out of FaZe. I think Kixan half is aware that they're going to be prepared for this push too, but it is a 2v1 for a moment.
Oh my God, he
covered
turns!
him.
He just wins both duels on his own. No teammate even needed. It's one thing for Brokey to be caught crossing into the site like that, but for him to snap it onto the headshot towards the player on the right.
That kind of epitomizes this series,
okay.
Right?
It's the right call from FaZe. It's the right positioning. Looks like they're going to be interruptive in a good way.
You can see Kixan's even a little nervous about making the play because he knows that he's often trying to be that lurk. And yeah, that was at the very minimum FaZe. It had to be a 1v1, right? You're saving now.
Artillery down middle here for FaZe Clan. Frag grenades chucked out, and they do very little damage. FaZe Clan not getting their money's worth, I'll tell you that. Simply have to be better. A winnable position in round 3. Back to pistols here in the 4th. More utility to try to hold them back on elbow. They'll keep Elige alive by burning that last grenade for the FaZe Clan. And there's plenty more util where the Falcons kick this off with. They'll smoke off donut side. They know Elige is still in there. It's a matter of time. Nico will just spray him out. Screw waiting around, and more smoke spam connects ever so slightly. This round still has a little bit of life left in it for FaZe, but we're starting to see Falcons set their targets onto that B site, and at the moment, FaZe still pulling back from A, but not fast enough to get ahead of what feels like this Falcons commitment bound to come in before they arrive, you'd think. But there's still a little hesitation here from Falcons, and FaZe keep this moving. Yeah. Here's the execute.
They take time to get organized sometimes versus these pistols. But they're in. No one in the site either, just in cave.
Ooh, that helps. Degster down first. We get the push out of Kerrigan. There's a second player here, though. Brokey tries to dive the bomb. And here comes Frozen up from short side. Back through smoke temporarily. 5-7's finding its damage, but it's covered by TessS. All's good. Majority alive for Falcons. And a 4-0 start that's just tearing up this semifinal.
They kicked it into gear right at the perfect moment. And ultimately, with FaZe playing from within cave, there wasn't too many opportunities to create some friction for the site exec. So good. I mean, for Falcons, they've survived the anti-eco tests in this series, even if a couple of rounds have been close or they've been slightly low on time.
Just straight up loses the duel. Elige gets his head torn off. It's a sudden pop out of the Falcons, so playing with confidence. And we saw that boiling over on Nuke. There's no reason not to be wielding it now.
This is rough. They know TessS was over on B as well, I think.
Ah, there we go. Frozen finding Kixan. Exposed. Smoke open for a second.
Here's a lurk right there.
And now TessS times it to perfection. Rain not given a chance to exit. Brokey's just going to have to leave here. They don't find anything inside of the site to convince themselves to retake with, and the cost's too costly to let that all rack up.
That elbow timing is so important, but like at a certain, it's so hard to deal with from the CT side. You know you're going to be rotating over. You know someone's going to be waiting for you. They're waiting for the last second to peek, but they're the ones who are in the power position. The bomb is down. You have to eventually go, and you don't even know if he's going to lurk from elbow or as Rain was looking from cave or outside of B. So raw duel 1 versus Elige here over on the A site. I don't know if he's a permanent fixture on A or if that's changed, but this was a rifle. That was a rifle, like, just out of spawn setup, wasn't it?
Yes, sir. Oh, the song of my people.
At least we're going to get the op back in play here for Brokey. But we are just waiting for this game to start for FaZe, man.
And that strong performance from Elige as the Nuke map was so swiftly robbed away by Falcons, but haven't had to talk about any kind of individual level from any of the other FaZe members. I think I speak for many when I said we were all happy for FaZe to find an improvement in form, and we were all signing up for what could have been an awesome back and forth between them and Falcons today. But this semifinal, I can't lie, it's been flat out of FaZe. Elige will find 2 though. Nice. That's what they needed. It is a fight offered over to them by Falcons, who decide to come swinging out through elbow. They knew what they signed up for. And Elige able to push them back. Maybe FaZe's first. Maybe.
Yeah, a bit weary based on some of the rounds that we've seen so far to call it too soon. Three v 5 still got some healthy players. The right amount of utility. Falcons know they're teaming with confidence, right? Like, it's one bad miss and this site gets run over. It's a double cave setup again, so FaZe are not aiming to push. And the smoke comes out quite early. They can definitely wait it out. passive lines here from the A players. Not that they need more help in B.
There it is, the audio to confirm it. Rain's going to stay tucked in. It draws Brokey back for a second, but Fire means he can't come out for a peek. Rain's still committed to this corner.
They had that smoke too. There's a flash, but
Crossfire looks good from Cave at least. Rain still just tucked in as tight as necessary. TeSS turns, and that is the moment. They'll swing out and strike them all down. FaZe off of the Elige double, felt like they were always going to win this. And Magic's going to remind them as what's in store as the headshots connect, but it's that opening double down from Jonathan Jablanowski that puts FaZe on the board. Their 5th round of this series.
Yeah, that was the firepower of Elige right there. Unfortunately, not even all the nades landed in the right spots there for FaZe. I don't think Elige was set up for success with the utility that came in, but he still reacted extremely well here. At least that second flash does its job.
Rain offers up that helping hand, and we'll go back to the mid plate. Pelt it with util, dive into the donut. Huge nade damage here for Kixan to have to handle, and Elige sees that opening in middle. They pop open elbow, though, catching him on the climb up. He thought he could escape. The pressure stays on. And Falcons 4 versus 2 in the 7th round. This will continue to be a series of non-consecutive round wins if FaZe don't pull off this 2v4.
No window smoke. They've got Kixan and Dexter on one, but they want to keep this. Rain's going to push out, but if he goes too far, he's going to walk right into the op. But Dexter doesn't hit it.
Yeah, it was kind of made awkward by that Falcons player looking to leave. They burn out just to make sure he's not in there. Brokey just waiting in red room.
Spotted.
Eco saw it, so now Brokey's got to change positions. And of course, Falcons seeing that threat, gonna go for the total turnaround over towards the B site that Kixan's been carving a path towards.
Oh man, and again, like they're
outplayed.
Yeah, and also they're leaving Nico inside of middle. Like there's not even a way for the retake to take place here on B. Just one shoulder spot. You can see how important that can be. Nico not dying to Brokey, who wasn't smoked in window, simply ends the round. But make no mistake, there were some close duels that happened just now. Health bars are low here for Falcons, but unfortunately the firepower advantage has been on their side for a lot of these rounds.
You could see Elige trying to react fast enough when he heard that nade behind him pop open, right? He wanted the lane fight, knew he had to duel with elbow. It was forced on him by Falcons. Dangerous game for Falcons, but I mean, they change up their mid timing 1 round after losing a double kill to Elige, and it works out perfectly. So shout out Magisk. He throws himself at middle this time. He's up to an 8-2 score line on the second map of the semis. And as I said, this is still FaZe unable to win 2 rounds in a row this entire series.
When Elige joined this new FaZe lineup, I think the #1 goal has to be Austin and the ramp up towards Austin and the end of the season, and winning an event along the way. Well, that's exactly how you build the confidence to create that tournament window, to make a deep run like that and believe through all the hard times. But despite the good efforts from FaZe so far this event, if this is the way that they go out, I mean, I think it'll harm them more than it helps.
What a gut-wrenching feeling it must be to be a FaZe Clan fan, to go from their most lopsided win of the year to what could be their heaviest loss 24 hours later. Dexter eats the flashbang, won't be able to punish that back lane jump up. That's Brokey over there with his op, as this early 3B lean from FaZe awaits any sort of contact. There's no cave pressure coming out towards Falcons. Bomb still floating towards spawn. And FaZe just kind of shelling up at the moment. That's a smoke down at a minute 10. Still a couple more of them to go for FaZe. Kerrigan is locked into this corner, nowhere to run. TSS on the approach, clears him out. That's one of the smokes now dropped as well for FaZe. Things go from bad to worse, so they're gonna try to send Brokey maybe into the cave to stop this. He's supported, but they bait out his op shot. Now a little more uncomfortable. Flash to come at him. Dexter's looking to lock him in, but there's also that second defender on the pillar. Still just playing with Brokey.
Beautiful.
Kicks out with the wall bang, baits it into perfection, and it just ends up being completely flat defense. All three defenders here die empty-handed.
So it's an amazing round out of TSS, right? He gets one kill, but it's his movement that basically guarantees this. Hey, he comprehensively clears out cave, doesn't take a single risk. There's no room for Kerrigan to get a lucky kill. There's not even anyone to draw attention away from Kerrigan, unfortunately. That's one flaw of the setup. But TSS, even with the jump peek on Brokey, you know, that was convincing. Like, that's sometimes a kill you give away because you've already got the kill on cave. Teammate can come up the ramp. No, they make this as bad as it possibly can be. 5 alive here for Falcons as they win and are now just looking to get the final exit frags.
Ton of extra money to play with. Frozen barely alive. Dexter's gonna get a chance to clear him. And down goes one of these saved rifles. So Elige will hold on to his. That's it, that's all. 3 players on site. No kills for the defense.
That was a masterclass from TSS. I mean,
so nice.
Even after the jump spot and he baits the shot, he's going in for the shoulder peaks as well.
Just putting the barrel of his gun around the corner. I mean, he had Brokey so fixated, and then also to just let Kicksan know, go for the wall bang.
Because Brokey's reaction time is remarkable. If you give him, you know, if he's not just peeking with his gun sticking out, eventually, you know, he will get a chance to shoot you. Oh man, but it's just like, he's magnetized to this spot. There's no other way for Brokey to play it.
Nice, boys. Let's go!
Such a sick round from Falcons.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, it's a sight for sore eyes to see them back in this form.
Absolutely. I mean, getting the heroic core has done wonders for them. And people wondered sort of how much they'd be trying coming into this event, or, you know, the motivation on everybody on this team. But you can see they're taking it very seriously.
At 1 point, 0 and 2 in the Swiss groups at the beginning of this event. A best of 3 away from elimination, and now mere rounds from a grand finals. And in a form that will have, no matter their competition, a little nervous. It's a ton of damage on the spray, but still no kill. When you're working with less guns here, I saw it half bad. MP9 queued up to swing, but still the kills come out. There he is. Rain able to emerge, gets a dink onto Dexter, but he's dropped by the frag grenade to half health, and the util's just gonna keep the pressure up. All of that damage offered over by Frozen. One of the closer rounds of this map for FaZe. And it could still come up Falcons, because TSS is working with 50 HP. He's going to be the player to scoop up that bomb while the smoke gives him temporary cover. It's going to be a slide into the boxes. Okay, for a second. Looked like Rain was maybe going to get away with some antics, but that gets denied. Bunch of spam connects, and Falcons still follow through like it's nothing.
Frozen's another name who, I think, like, when Elige joined, it felt like that was the only thing that was working well, was that Frozen just improving his game so much and individually being extremely creative, hitting all his shots. But I think here in Bucharest, it's just been, you know, a slightly above average or average performance overall. And there is so much damage, but no kills. Finally, Falcons look to let loose.
Yeah, you know, you've created a comfortable margin of error to play with. At this point, with the way that Nuke was wrapped up and the way this one's going, why wouldn't you just start to take the gloves off? Get a little risky. It's very clear FaZe Clan are not stepping up to the plate today. Not yet.
Kicksan gets dropped the bomb. There's no more mollies here for the CT side.
Nothing you can do unless the op connects, and Brokey's gonna decide not to pull the trigger just yet. Here's a nice time flank from Elige, tries to soften up the players on site, and it does frazzle Kixan back into the corner. Man advantage on the retake, and this time there is no Degster flank to compromise that back line.
And there's no Molly unless... No.
No nades, so nothing to pick up. Thought maybe a cash if utility could save them. Wallbanks.
He got it!
Him off. Nico double spray. He's gonna try again on the next tap. Just continuing to spam through this wall. Frozen's now gonna try to have his hands on it. He doesn't get the diffuser. 3 kills through this wallbang, but it's a round from FaZe. If that's what's keeping them in this game, then are they even truly in it?
I don't know. That's pretty great though from Nico in that spot, and he's smiling after a lost round. That's not something you often see from Nico, and that's just because of, well, how proud he's got to be of his team at the moment. It's between Nuke and this. This is the closest that FaZe have got to scaring them. No way to deny that spam. Once the smoke came down on Banana, it was like, okay, no mollies.
I mean,
no one in the smoke, no one in cave either.
Compare the reactions and then remind yourself who won and who lost that round.
Yeah, right. Right.
Finn with his hands on his head.
I mean, you can see the economic impact. There's no one with a full kit of utility here on FaZe. Reminder that ammo is the ultimate untapped resource of Counter-Strike. And it's free.
Yeah, he mollied this, Nico, so not going to check the corner, but Molotov never spread to Elige's feet. Man advantage here for FaZe. Gap on that? Looks like Kixan's watching it. Yeah, Kerrigan up along the box. MP9. It's actually just the distraction. Brokey's op from the top of the ramp connects. And TSS returns the favor with 1.
Looking to catch a rotation, but Brokey's still within smokes here on default.
And FaZe still cautious of the other parts of the map. So there's a world where Falcons just play this number advantage of a 3-2 split into the B site.
As long as Rain stays alive, Brokey can stay put.
But he doesn't. Brokey has to give up his position, drops another body at least, but, that's the clean one. Elige bends a bullet into Degster. A TSS clutch queued up. He's going to prioritize plant. Brokey emerges from the cave here, and TSS inside of smoke. Tough exit for the first time in the series. 2 rounds in a row for FaZe Clan. But is it even worth getting excited about?
I think you got to.
I'd like to. I would like to.
Yeah.
I would hope they would.
If you're FaZe, you have to. You got 2 rounds in a row. They're also good rounds here. They're like scary, but you get it together. Take shots like this, but that's some of the shots that Falcons are hitting. You've got to hit shots like that.
If I get...
Yeah, you got to treat every new day as a victory, Connor, no matter what.
Unless you lose.
No. You win or you learn.
Kixan back to the cave play. A little more presence shown towards A main as well, so this will keep FaZe on their toes, I think. Falcons playing with a bit more option. I'll wait this smoke out, just making sure nobody plays down and climbs up to give Kixan any issues. But it doesn't look like FaZe are looking to make moves. Hoping that this 4th CT round win comes to them. Down to the last smoke grenade. Degster chucks it out for the A execute. So at least FaZe are finally making their move, but it's down at the base of ramp. Kixan locked in towards middle, so they're not going to find anything here.
Yeah, I mean, with middle clear, though, the CTs are quite a long rotation, so even though they got this info, okay, Rain gets his kill.
Frozen's gone unnoticed for the time being, so he'll find his headshots.
There he is!
All right! Better late than never, I suppose. 3 in a row for FaZe. time to play the semifinals.
Damn.
Where's that been all map long?
I mean, you don't get that every day. What a round out of Frozen.
Just when you think it's over, they pull you back in.
They still, and you can see it in their eyes, obviously. They know they're still playing from behind. And they're happy to get their small victories here and there, but there's plenty of work to do, even for a chance to see this third map.
If FaZe push this series to Mirage, haven't played it since February, just to repeat that. So there's an unknown quantity. They better have sharpened their sword for it.
Wow,
that is a rock-solid hold. Helps, of course, that Rain peels the first player off so that Frozen is allowed to catch them off guard with the quad kill. But you give him a chance to hold a bomb site. He'll remind you what he's capable of, the kind of most improved piece of FaZe since Alicia's arrival. The Frozen Renaissance is a welcome sight for FaZe Clan, and so is a chain of round wins. 3 in a row to close out the half. Falcons have been consistent in their pistols. And Magisk catches one in the back with a grenade in hand, but Alige is going to just strike death down on 2. Magisk and Nico get their heads popped. That's what they're looking for. You get roped in because you thought you caught them off guard, but Alige saves his teammates and possibly FaZe Clan's hope on Mirage.
Looks like they're going to meet each other over at B, however. So 5v3 on the site. We'll see if Falcons decide to push. I think it's in FaZe's best interest to wait a little bit just so that they, you know, maybe will go and do something aggressive here. Kixan spotted one. He communicates it as well. No kill, though, as they move forward. Again, every CT is here.
Kixan waiting on it. Dexter's Berettas with a triple.
No,
Don't you dare.
3v5 again.
They've taken back a man advantage. They're going to try to chase down the last 2. But, I mean, they're signing up for a fight versus a multi-fragging Alige. Dexter decides that's enough. Peels back for a moment. 40 seconds on this clock. He has given back the health advantage to FaZe.
Man, I feel like that was a moment where Alige needed to fight and peel back so Brokey could take next contact. But at least it's still a 2v2. However, they've forgotten that the other side of the map exists. Falcons too smart, too shrewd to leave. And this next swing determines everything.
Oh my goodness, a bit more damage. Alige is on for an ace.
4 kills for Alige.
Right? Oh, he gets tapped out. Bomb planters pumped up. TSS trades out. Triple kill for Dexter, double down by TSS. The pistol wins just keep on coming up, Falcons.
And they're just smiling, man. It's like a birthday party over here. Oh, poor Alige put in so much that round. But to be honest, as a team, man, after these first 2 kills happened, I felt as though they could guarantee Falcons would get nervous about their stack if they waited a little bit longer. There was more time in the round. And fundamentally speaking, like, it was just having so much fun over here.
Hey, why not?
The joy's infectious, yeah. Another 3v5, dude. Yeah. I feel like FaZe played that a little bit lazy, man. I hate to say that.
One missed nade in the middle of all that. TSS wide swings. Tech9 hits the ground. Alicia's AK right here for the taking, but he's gonna fight for it. And Nico down towards elbows in a bit of a pinch, but he'll continue to keep them back with nades, and he's gonna lock in the fight versus Brokey instead. It's a position that could catch Nico off. He's got Magis to help him if needed. There it is. Beautiful stuff from Brokey. Shuts them both down. They have the numbers advantage, and Yanko brought up the stat, the amount of second rounds that Falcons loses after pistols. Is this another one for the bucket? Dexter's got other ideas. Bomb to be planted on the B site still. Good health here for FaZe.
He's actually just walking fully away from this with the amount of time left over. I'm hoping to find some sort of lurk, I suppose. Honestly, based on this game and how many unlikely positions they've overcome, I would have put on Dexter to give this shot. 13 and 6 as he comes into this map. Second half. But Brokey with his 2 kills. Excellent spot. Read that there would be some more aggression coming in from mid. Every single player dies inside or outside cave.
Terrorists win.
Oh, there's the lifeline. You know, I'd love to just start pulling all the classic FaZe tropes out of my toolbox, talk about all the comebacks that they've pulled off in history just when you've written them off and you think the series is a shoe-in. But unfortunately, time has passed when the consistencies of those sorts of games have kind of fizzled out. You know, they've lost a bit of that FaZe Clan shine.
Honestly, if Brokey didn't miss that smoke on B-site Dust 2 at the Shanghai Major in the final round and Shiro didn't 1v2, I think FaZe win the whole thing. And we get a whole different, like, aura and team right now, genuinely. They nearly staged that entire comeback. But that's why you have to actually win, even if you get very close. Yeah. Like, unfortunately,
yes,
a lot of Kerrigan's career has been setting up some of the best records for other teams.
People, yeah. Yeah.
He's got, you know, gave Navi their win back in Copenhagen, the win at Shanghai to Spirit to cement their year, and Donk's year, and
you know, Kerrigan is like the grindstone of Counter-Strike. Makes everybody else look so sharp. Tragic at times, but that's competition. We're just lucky to have a player in the space that can create as exhilarating moments as they can.
Yeah, but on that, you know, like, Nuke was not exhilarating. That was the most unlike FaZe part about it. I mean, we never got the culminating rounds. So that's the thing. Kerrigan's calling, right? It reaches its zenith at the very end of the game, the round 23-24. But if they don't get there at all, I mean, you're never going to see a mastermind at work in that sense. So FaZe, this D-side comeback is real. Kerrigan can kind of take over at the end and show us what this team is really all about, but got to get there first.
Looks like Falcons are going to take a swing in cave. Trade's good from Nico. Rain going to keep an eye on the gun. That opens up the bomb to go and join the players towards Donut. A's feeling likely at this point, but we're down to 25 seconds. Magisk, this MP9, close proximity to the site. They're splitting up. FaZe chucking a grenade over towards the B site, but the Falcons aren't going to buy it. Nico's going to keep an eye on it just in case. But this stack gets into position at the right time. Kicks in. He draws attention. MP9 on the exit. Oh, Magisk, he swings, but it's all about Dexter now. And he shaves off both.
He got off it.
Off bomb. No plant kills could be taken if not for Dexter on the run. And FaZe fizzle out in the 15th. Falcons with a robbery.
Oh, man, it looked like a solid position once all the kills came down, but the rotations early in for Falcons once again. I mean, that's been the series for them. Beautiful rotations, covering their teammates back on Nuke. Same thing right here on Ancient. Indomitable crossfire, and another fantastic spray down for Dexter, topping the board again.
So not only did FaZe have to fight this uphill battle, now they're the victim of rounds like that. Debilitating.
So many clutches, so many man advantage rounds lost here.
Backbreaking.
Yeah.
And yet they still have to continue to try to march on.
It feels like they've lost more 3v5s than 4v5s in this game.
This semifinals ends up being FaZe in pain. And Falcons sharp. Quality Counter-Strike worthy of a grand finals. And the chase of a trophy lift. MP9 at the top of the ramp, toppled here by Elige. He gets cut off by the rest of the pack. Still a couple guns out there for the FaZe Clan. Nico lets them just skate by inside smoke. Comes in, their turn, and now he gets dropped by Frozen. So FaZe have fought their way into this bomb site, regardless of the stack up from the Falcons. Nade on Brokey, that's gonna drop him to 38. Another one clears him off of the pillar.
No.
Retake will show no sign of slowing down as Degster yet again comes through with impact on site. Frozen behind box, found out his spray off the mark, and Falcons just can't stop winning.
Immaculate utility here from the Falcons once again. There was a distinct change of heart from Elige right there. They're going to respect the utility at the bottom of Banana. He decided to run through it. He got his kill. It gave FaZe a chance to get into the site. But what can you say about that? You cannot deny those two nades that land right on default when Brokey can't move. It's a beautiful retake from the perspective of Protocols. Excellent use of all the resources they had, the time, the players. There just aren't many gaps. Their flash hit cave. The molly hit the guy in cave. The smoke smoked him out. The two nades landed on default and took out Brokey. Everything moved around forward for Falcons.
Trying to set up this A split to keep the hopes alive, but Magisk peels away from Donut just in case the numbers come at them strong. It's all about this Elige AK, and he gets the trade frag at the very least. That's the silver lining here. A main cut down by Degster. Bomb's looking to emerge soon enough, but they can pause because the red room push is coming around. Tesses, do you swing this? Kerrigan's Tech 9 dodges the flash, and he comes in with two, but you've still got Degster on site. They know about him, and he tries to hold it, but he can't. Brokey finally getting out from A main with that bomb. Kerrigan scoops up an M4. He is the hero of the 17th, but Kixan arrives, takes a dink down to 30, and the smoke will give respite. FaZe to plant this bomb.
He's going to walk that flank over to Donut. It's planted so that they can fall back to him. He's faking it, though. Kixan's coming in with no smoke for this spot. This should be a fine position for FaZe. And he's assuming that they're playing towards him. And they are in some sense. But how's Kixan going to watch this lurk? Surely he's not going to find this, right?
Kerrigan rounds the corner and picks him up.
Took some damage for it, but...
Whew, big one here from Finn. He was 5-13 at the start of that round. The double Tech 9 just really sucks the life out of the A defense for Falcons. It's another reason to believe in FaZe, if not for only a little longer.
It is the momentum that they're missing, the rounds in a row. Like, you can win the rush rounds like this, or even that previous round where they Tech 9'd into B. There was a chance they could have closed it, but, you know, it's all to make the money so you can win sustainably like you can here. Full utility, pretty damn good weapons. What's the idea?
They're on the brink of it now. M4 still in play. That's in Nico's hands. He's right here with this B defense. The first blood will cool off the Falcons' aggression. Leash wastes no time just getting to the perimeter of the red room. But Falcons are in the right position here, Mohan.
They are, man. They've been constantly doing this.
You said there was a round prior where FaZe looked a little lazy. This would not be the moment to do that again.
Yeah, I mean, this is again a situation, if we want to mirror it to that, where if you wait long enough, CTs have no choice but to re-expand, either pushing towards you or going to check the other site. They're the ones who are limited on information.
Uh-oh, kill start to happen.
Oh, Tessa's...
Team kill in the middle of it. You actually lose that red room push. Brokey's bomb still sectioned off. Magisk looks over to the cave, and that's where he's going to get toppled. So Degster holding flank doesn't give them much. FaZe up to 7. Respectable scoreline starting to come through. There's a reason to believe in FaZe now. They've at least pieced that together with consecutive round wins.
Yeah, the game is very real for them, absolutely. And even though Falcons are putting themselves in a good spot, FaZe are surviving. It's great to be able to say that FaZe are playing well. I mean, I think that the thing is, Falcons didn't get lucky to get to 11 rounds. I mean, they've had a pretty detailed game plan. Their players are on form. Their rotations have been excellent. Their communication, you can see it from the outside, looks like it's solid. And
Terrorists win.
FaZe got to open their third eye to figure out how to win this game. Let's see if Falcons are going to feel the pressure or not. That's the other weird part. We have seen Falcons feel pressured visibly, you know, and get to nervous positions. So
this was an 8-1 lead for Falcons. You take that into consideration. You got to value what FaZe have been able to put forward. You've got that one floating M4 in Dexter's hands. Elige wastes no time getting into the action here on middle. And Dexter's down with just one. So it falls on Nico's USP. He'll wrap back around to try to go grab that rifle, see if he can do anything more with it. Or not. He wants the long con all the way to elbow. By the time he gets there, this bomb's going to explode. FaZe up to an 8th.
see if he gets that perfect timing. Looks like not. Kerrigan will take him out 4 alive here for FaZe Clan. We might have a game. Oh, they're starting to smile too.
If only temporarily. 3-round difference, 11-8 score. Dexter yet again, top performing player for Falcons on an ancient game. Scares me about Dexter's form at the moment. It feels like if he's just in the right position when FaZe come at him, like he's been forced to save throughout these last few rounds that FaZe are picking up. And now we see him bolstering that B bomb site where Nico had been adding himself to the defense. Now it's the Opper instead. We saw it make a difference versus the Mongols. Could damn well do it here versus FaZe. But there's also been a consistency in winning mid, I think, here.
Yeah.
Starting to be added together by FaZe Clan.
Absolutely. If you're the winning team, you can't just be giving this away. It's up to FaZe to use it against them. We've seen Elige go forward with a couple of window lurks. Brokey watching from behind. The CTs are here.
So Elige versus Nico. AK tries to tap those heads to rattle the CT defense. There's the dink back on Elige, now harder to handle. Nico steps up, Brokey doesn't get the trade. Kerrigan at least opens shop versus Tesses, and Frozen's gonna win his duel. So 2 separate engagements that both come up to FaZe. Rain along the wall collects his kill, and Dexter still yet to be given a target to shoot at. And so 3 separate individual duels all come up FaZe's favor. And that is what could get them 1 round closer.
Okay, now we're talking. Absolutely. So even though they get that first kill as they walk out of the window, it's FaZe with full-on mid-control. There's more players that Falcons don't know about. And they find this refrag both on the extremity of the map and inside of middle. And you can see the depressed positions that the CTs are dying in. They're the ones who are trying to claw back space, even though it's very early into the round. This doesn't happen if Falcons start off trying to establish inside of mid. If they start to clam up and FaZe keep trying to hit them there, then they actually have a sustainable path to bringing this map to fruition. Alicia's 15 and 15, but you know what? Like, a lot of those kills have been like round winning.
And another moment here where Dexter just doesn't even get a chance to get his hands on the game. 3 teammates dying in front of him, Nico included, taking over as the front runner inside that B site. But on a round like this, where his teammates have less to work with, surely Degster is maybe given a chance to unleash that op. He'll head over to the A site. Again, there's this constant shuffling of the positions from the Falcons. Op to try to hunt down Kixan, who's now locked in along the wall. And a smoke in front of them cools it off for the time being. Here's Degster, freed up through Donut. Because Nico has mid control, we're gonna get that Op to jump up into the lane. And then Degster's gonna get a damn good chance to skewer this setup from FaZe. But they're already to the left side. He's gotta be careful about that. Stepping into it, beautiful headshot from Rain. Woo! And so the Op hits the ground. It's all about trying to set up. Degster doesn't come through. MP9 denied on elbow, 5-7 deleted in sight. This is FaZe Clan, now 1 round out. If all they do is finish off Magisk and TSS, this comeback is real.
There we go. They hit everything right there, and that one piece of aggression was assisted beautifully to get Degster up into heaven. But Rain, so careful, so aware, and didn't fight that like he was going at a rifle.
Never come at Cave, it's all good. You send a Legion on the entry, he'll find little resistance barring Magisk. It's clean. He sits on 70 health after that first one. Rain in the front of Cave is able to catch TSS. Now they'll know Magisk's still in here. Bit more chip damage there for Kerrigan to have to handle. You've got 3 very low players and a missed op shot. Don't you dare, Magisk! Wall bang out from Frozen. Puts it over the line. Round 22 coming at you. FaZe within touching distance of Falcons after looking dead in the water.
This is where Kerrigan's reputation comes into play. We finally got into those closing rounds of the game. We're on a T side here on a map that he understands deeply. Falcons have only now decided to play the game inside of middle. They do it on a lower buy. Are they willing to run this risk on a round where they have more to lose? A tie seemed impossible for a long time here on Ancient. But now FaZe know that they've got Falcons a little bit more scared. These shots are connecting a little too easily. The reads are in place. Multiple lurks are activating at the same time, and they're seeing success.
This was an 8-1 Falcons lead out of the gate. A 5-round streak for FaZe currently. Is it all to just set up a harder heartbreak?
I don't know if Dexter shot or not, but Brokey lucky to get out of there. Ate that flash and left.
He did shoot.
Good to see Falcons taking over mid-control, though. They've got the Rook on the file in this position. Dexter has to get flashed in order to fall back. And this will take resources or players if they want to swing into this, but shots missed.
Nico picks it up, luckily for him, stays standing. Golden opportunity there for Dexter. Nico also tough to get out of here with Rain kind of breathing down his neck, but he'll drop a nade on top of it. And this is going to be Falcons to peel back. They're content enough with a single-man advantage to try to get that elusive 12th round to win here on Ancient.
And you can see FaZe just desperately wanted to win mid one way or another, and even if we've got Falcons turning it up a notch.
TSS again, right? These just perfect jiggles on these corners.
Yeah, that's an underrated skill to have. TSS very reliable in that spot.
This has opened a door for the Falcons' triple B stack. There's a question mark in the back of the Falcons' mind when it comes to mid-control, but because they established it, they're just willing to write off that FaZe won't go for it, and they're not wrong.
Well, it is 2.5 men here. Nico so low.
Kixan looks to go down ramp. They're getting active as that utility comes sailing over the top. Kerrigan tries, but TSS and Kixan lock in the ramp. More damage done. Rain somehow, some way, gonna have to pull off what's left of the 1v4. Nico in the corner, distraction served up. It's a long time coming, but they'll take it.
Wow.
12.
Didn't think that that was going to happen based on this game, but they were brave enough to venture into middle. They were fortunate enough for Dexter to miss those 2 shots and for Nico to still stay alive. He had a cover for himself right there. But at least they put themselves in a spot to win. They knew that this was FaZe's prerogative. They made sure to deny that first phase of their game plan. and they had man advantage coming into this situation. And Nico, again, the guy who defended himself in middle, was the guy to end the round. Well, one round's nice, but it still wouldn't be much of a comeback at this point in the game for FaZe to take it to overtime. Falcons have to stay sharp.
Something different. Degster to peek in. Frozen. Oh, pops him instantly. It's a daunting ask of Magisk now. You've got that Kerrigan stomp to the right side. Magisk tries to slide in. He is locked in with him. And so FaZe Clan find a 5 versus 3. It's a different look from Falcons, and it's one that comes up empty-handed.
The first time they've gone deep on A main, isn't it? And FaZe are ready for it. They've got surveillance everywhere at the moment. And this will finally be a position where Falcons are unwilling to gamble.
Degster's attempts have been left, right, and center, but...
And finally, when Nico starts to go over towards the B site, you've got Frozen going on an adventure all the way through tunnel behind him. I mean, you got to think that the money's in the back of their heads right now. They saw that smoke come down on Temple, but to be honest, from the CT perspective, they got to make sure they have money for next round. Oh, and they lose Nico.
Now it's no longer majority.
Yeah, he was on $0 here.
He just heard that bomb site, that bomb plant. Kind of wrote off the possibility Frozen would be that deep on him. And there's no guarantee that these other two exit. I mean, this is a very bolstered attempt to clear out TeSeS and Kixan. And if they think they can cross for free, Brokey's gonna, supposed to, stop them. Still to kill Kixan looks likely, but maybe not. Finally, TeSeS dropped here. He comes back to try to help out Kixan, I guess. Could have just ran off to the swamps. Instead, Kixan, the only survivor by the looks of things, FaZe to an 11th, a 24-round game, all things considered.
Ops just here making a lot of noise in these last few rounds, not actually connecting with anybody.
Degsters and Brokies.
Okay, man. Round 24. And even though Falcons won that last round, FaZe have won the majority of the previous. The tides have definitely shifted. Third timeout will be used.
It's not that bad of a buy, though.
Yeah, they've got guns. I mean, at least because they have that one save, it spares them from having 2 MP9s.
When the game got close versus MongolZ, it was just individual heroics from Falcons. That TeSeS triple kill, a Nico 1v3.
You can see they're just in place early enough now. Everything is falling into position.
Star power in their back pocket. And a final attempt to deny FaZe where they do their best work.
See if this will be another almost comeback for FaZe or if they'll grab it.
Okay, that could have been it. That could have been it. Rain wants action in on mid. Frozen just lines it up instead. Nico the first casualty. Very adamant about getting into the action bottom mid. And TeSeS trying to spam Rain out of this one. Nah. Comes up FaZe Clan 5 versus 3. Overtime looking likely as Frozen has taken over to a 20-13 scoreline. Magisk lucky to still be standing. Degster could slip in with the M4 though at a moment's notice. Frozen right there looking to lock horns. Degster thinks about it. Somebody's got to be the hero if Falcons are going to win this round. And Degster takes a ton of damage in response for that, but at least it's a single kill back for Falcons.
Yeah, he might actually be more reliable on this rifle. Very clean scoreline, but that op hasn't been doing him many favors. Health bars are low, though, even with that kill.
We've already seen multiple 3 versus 5s this series out of the Falcons. This would be the most gut-wrenching of all. With the low health of Magisk and Degster, you'd think this would be unbelievable, but Kixan's going to try to make a move again, getting active. Brokey holds this, but he gets tapped out.
Decapitated instantly. We've got Kixan falling back. They aren't chasing him fast enough.
To rotate slowly through the CT spawn, but it's also a slow decision.
A is no longer an option.
FaZe is not coming forward fast enough. Kerrigan, he'll find his inside of the cave. Now it's going to be a quick sprint over from Falcons. A 10th of his health to use here, Magisk. Rain, hands busy, plants, and no contest. Not going to get him off this, but you've got Dexter to attack the back line soon enough. Magisk continues to try to keep the pressure up, to serve up distractions. Kerrigan's got the safety of this corner, but he just runs into the open. Thank God he still comes up with it. He had a health advantage. Dexter, tough stuff. Magisk, this would be impossible. He tries to close the gap to the site. He knows the position's still inside of the cave. They'll get denied. FaZe run this back.
Oh, they did it. The full comeback. Nothing cosmetic right here. FaZe have made it happen on this T side.
From 8-1 Falcons.
Yep. It's more than impressive. This T side, and they showed us why. They took out Nico, which was the prime target, the most important piece to take down. I can't help but feel like Dexter's getting a little bit nervous here. Some of his sprays are getting worse. His op shot has missed in critical moments. He entered like round 20, one of the cleanest score lines, less than 9 deaths. And to be honest, wasn't getting a lot of action on A, but now I think in these last few rounds, starting to feel the pressure.
Desk highlighted how Nico kind of gets choked up in the middle of Ancient, not as much space to work with. And I do think we saw that as well. Frozen getting his number a couple of times on elbow. How does TeSeS get away with this position?
Just got cast iron armor on.
Kerrigan on a solo operation outside the B site. Frozen simultaneous contact looked for here.
They're having their way with the map, though.
Yes, they are.
That's what's really important.
TeSeS, though, does more damage than what Kerrigan can output, and now it's feeling like the all-in. Utility lands in front of them. Good chip damage. Magisk looks to just get a strong anchor highlight right here, right now. First round of overtime valuable. Nades come soaring over. Kills connect for Nico. And these rifles find their intended targets. Brokey, it's a heroic attempt, outnumbered on the site, trying to serve up enough of a distraction for Elige to somehow, some way, come through with impact. And the timing works out. TeSeS, no, he swings in. He gets enough damage. It is a single point of health here to make the difference for Elige.
Still 30 seconds.
But the difference is it draws the attention of the donut players back. He gets another 2 kills with 1 health. Brokey in the middle of the site to the 1v2. He's been better here in Bucharest than 2025. It's become a dire norm for Brokey to let these rounds slip. Missed shot. And as that target gets behind this donut position, Nico swings out to close in on him. And that is Falcons following through from a solid hold to a finish. 13, theirs first.
Wow, Brokey nearly found the ultimate maneuver right there. Still getting a way to go forward, but the perfect shoulder spot from Nico. A total feint. Elige nearly brought this round back into fruition, but look at that. After the way that second half had gone, Falcons just pulled one out of the hat. Eating a lot of utility here. It's a very confusing situation. Wasn't even sure who was blind or not coming out. Watching that from Magisk's perspective, he was just eating every piece of utility. HE landed right on his feet. But they came out great on trades.
Again, it's mid. They're trying for the boost. Oh, interrupted by Kerrigan. Elige is going to set up the flashes. Falcons try to get elaborate in the middle of the map. And no grace period given because Kerrigan throws caution to the wind. Flames at his feet. He comes flying through. Another 3v5 attempt here for the Falcons. And they will start it off by finding Finn. And they've got time to rock this back to the B site. It's not an immediate follow through from Rain just yet. He's letting those Temple players, creep up.
This one has a more prototypical set of actions and reactions from the CT side. But because they're down to 3 players,
he's got to be worried about Elige. He's concerned about the possibility of that A flank, so he's just going to lock into the donut. The Falcons continue to try to press the issue. That ramp smoke soon to come up. Utility on Dexter, but he can't help out from the other side of the map. He is just absent from the rest of this, and there's been far too many rounds where poor Dexter is just sent into the save. He wants to be the star. He's got the stopping potential, but he's not here. It's got to be TeSS and Kixan. And Kixan goes down with nothing further than the one. TeSS can't get the multi-kill either, and so Degster's a little too late to this party. FaZe Clan look to tie up yet again.
Yeah, we've definitely got a different team now. FaZe, excellent round here overall, especially with Kerrigan winning his 2 duels in mid with 1 spray down. They look like the stronger team from the T perspective inside of middle, but because they lost that first round to the Falcons, this overtime is still wide open. FaZe's quota may have been just a perfect overtime because, I mean, Falcons, again, they started off 8-1. Looked dynamic, comprehensive. Damn near showed no gaps at the start of this game. But clearly, FaZe are getting better by the round. How often do we cast teams and say, you know, you want to win this game over a certain amount of rounds, you gotta have mid. And you can see the Falcons just don't want to. They just hate that FaZe are taking it. They don't want to have to fight here, and they keep showing up. They're ready to go, no problems. Even when they had to make this entire comeback.
Elish has just been omnipresent in the middle of the map, always supported, and if he can't find entries, well, we get that Kerrigan double down.
This is the true strength of the roster move, right? He is a renegade. You want to send him out in front, and if he gets 2 kills and dies, that's certainly enough for the late round team that is FaZe.
American jackknife. TeSS in the corner. Oh, he gets the better of Kerrigan. No way. Frozen's able to trade it at least. Kixan drops fire on Frozen, who gets another headshot on the entry. And that's going to spend a bit of time from Degster's point of view. They rotate over to deal with the red room. Tees have this site smoked out.
Wow, Elish didn't play that full commitment.
It is a powerful op that has not had all the opportunities it was looking for to hold this B site at bay. Frozen,
what?
A triple! Just walks through this smoke like it's nothing. The disrespect offered. Degster to the M4 finds only the one, and the red room hold comes out. FaZe have a lead.
How was that even an option? Pushing through a short molly with a smoke with a molly behind it. Frozen with 3 frags on this round. Oh, there was so much pressure on the Falcons. They thought they had this one wrapped up in 2. And somehow FaZe have a lead in this game. It's been a series of miracles and magic and a great game plan out of FaZe Clan. They are pressuring this chessboard with middle control. And we've seen a couple of bouts with Nico and Degster behind them that were solid positions to fight from. But those are the CT rounds. That chance is done with. Falcons will now have to show us again their extremely classy T side as they entered into this map. See if they can replicate it versus their newly leveled up opponent.
Pressure looks huge here. Kerrigan's gonna swing again. Oh, he continues the spray.
They don't care anymore.
No, this is it, the finality of FaZe. The first time they touch a lead and they swing for the fences.
They play to win every round, don't they?
Just when you had been led to believe that FaZe were gonna walk away from Bucharest.
This is why you see FaZe comebacks. Because the other team can be better than FaZe.
Stunning.
But are you going to be able to be more clutch in pressure moments? Are you going to be able to play the sustainable, risky rounds on round 23, round 24? Are you going to be more clutch when there's more pressure?
What feels like a guaranteed 15th, a guaranteed second overtime. The FaZe Clan comeback guarantee. All you gotta do is deal with Degster and Magisk. And they're fumbling this one. Flailing around here on the exit of the A site. Frozen just gonna take his time, hang on to a very critical portion of this defense. His teammates queued up, but they're along the wall, and they swing in time. Rain to close it out. Frozen double assist. Perfect pinch from FaZe. Perfect play out of the gate. Excellent call and conviction from Kerrigan, because he led that charge through Cave.
It's uncanny.
And oh, how the mood has shifted. There was a time in this game where FaZe won a round after Nico sprayed through players through the wall bang. Falcons were laughing through their losses. FaZe distraught with a round win. Well, here we are. 2 chances to close, and Nico will say something about it out middle. Something that was done to him, an aggressive opening stance, but it is Kerrigan once more.
20 kills for Kerrigan.
Flies down that ramp right into the action.
Oh, this gap. Sometimes TSS finds it. Nico's going to catch it.
He turns.
No, timing was perfect, but he still gets the kill.
Then he goes into the bomb site to try to keep the pressure up on Rain. This close is no guarantee. Oh, he smokes himself off. That's going to give Rain a chance to exit. A second to catch his breath. Nico, do you come through smoke
walking.
again? Rain is watching for it, but the utility flushes him off of the original position. Back into the lane instead.
He's prescient. He knows the reactions, knows exactly what he can get away with.
Frozen to try the flank as Kixan goes deep. Brokey a little late to the party here.
All praise to Nico on this. Winning mid. Again, one of his harder positions.
Frozen, though, unannounced so far. Now they think about it. Frozen's been so clean with these kills.
One rotation coming in from CT. The nade here as well.
It's going to flush them back. Frozen is simply not missing, so good thing Dexter shoots him while he's forward.
Oh my God.
Brokey could have, but that op shot off the mark. He'll chuck the gun to not be safe. Dexter on the chase.
Wow.
Dexter's gonna close this out. He hits 25 in the same round as Frozen. That is all Nico with confidence through smokes. Kerrigan tries his damnedest to be the key yet again.
And that's where Nico is more than just kills. Even though he wins his duel versus Elysian mid, he finds the timing to get into Cave. He's not afraid to transpose the smoke while blind to get into the site, knowing his team is about to join up with him. Full trust here. It's good from so many different perspectives. Even though Falcons are suddenly playing from behind, there's a real chance of a second overtime. Kixan, time for your clutch call.
Full exec, huh? That's how it's gonna go down. This is how it either ends one way or the other. Rain steps up. Alicia's flashes continue to find them a slaughter.
What a win.
Excuse me, FaZe. Forgive me, for I had stopped believing. From an 8-1 lead with a first map in their back pocket, we go to the unknown. No FaZe on Mirage since February. Let's do it. Like it was ever going to come to a conclusion.
I mean, fact is, Mirage, like
Wow.
this team, and
Here we are.
you know, let's go, man. Falcons are doing everything right. They're playing extremely good Counter-Strike, but pressure got to them on the last map, and that's going to be something we talk about if things start to go wrong here as well. They won't even feel good about a lead, and I don't think FaZe are going to be scared if they get one. Doesn't mean that FaZe should still keep playing from behind and only getting their rounds later. That's eventually going to catch up with you, especially with players like Nico on the other side of the board. But a lot of confidence with one back just now by FaZe. And Falcons have had some devastating losses. And Dexter, man, he had such a good score line. He had so many impactful rounds, but I really feel he just lost focus towards the end of the game, and I think he could have closed out that map in a few different positions.
Nico caught off, but doesn't seem to be surprised, does he? Hell of a snapshot over. Frozen finds his second of the round. And so FaZe come up in a post plant with a man advantage. Tess has to crawl up sneakily from the connector. Kerrigan's gonna start pushing out. I mean, Tess thinking, what, he's gotta go clear this just to go check? Kerrigan gives up his position. Tess looking to lock in with him. No help here for Tess. Kixan's got to look for the other targets, and he finds his. So 2 separate 1v1s, both come up the favor of Falcons. Frozen, we've seen 2 clean P250 shots. There's 3 and 4.
Woo!
Gets a little scrambled, but recovers, and that's all that matters. FaZe take a pistol.
He was so focused on that. He knew the time was going down on that defuse, but he had to take out the first target. They read it a little wrong, thought he might have been up in Palace. And the clutch comes through. Opening and closing. And that's the loudest that we've seen FaZe so far this game.
Yeah, no denying that FaZe coming off of that comeback are going to be fired up for this one. It's not just us at home that can believe, but they themselves. And we started to see some really aggressive plays coming out of Kerrigan towards the tail end of Ancient to really just hammer that nail into the coffin. We could go ahead and see that out of the gate as well, but oh boy, force buy back from Falcons.
A really strong first kill. Not in a position to exact up A with the bomb here at the top of mid. Excellent use of the boost here for Nico. I think very smart that Falcons start surveying their opponents again, making use of the boost all the time. Great to do on ecos. And this is a pretty healthy buy up, honestly. Even though it's just the FAMAS, the half armor in play, and now the 5v4.
Still sit here waiting for it. Kerrigan finds first blood. And nobody else forward ahead of Dexter, so that flashbang, okay. Nico slides up along the bench. That's 2 kills back the way of FaZe, and it looks like they've found themselves in a better position. But this player coming up from ramp,
Did he get hurt from
yeah,
Palace?
100%, right? You can see the other player scrambling, but they come back in and combined. Kerrigan would have heard that sprint. He would have warned his teammates. There was nothing he could do to stop this. He could still win with kills. Kixan's gonna pop up, and Falcons force buy back again.
I honestly didn't even realize Dexter hit that shot while he was partially blind.
Did he mean to? Could he, like...
Did he saw and then flicked afterwards? I'm not even sure exactly what happened.
My brain didn't process it entirely.
That was clutch.
My synapse is not firing as fast as his. It's the guy in the back. That's why.
Oh, that was on ramp?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, okay.
It's the ramp kill.
I thought he just missed really badly.
No, yeah, because the player on site was still alive. I was like, damn, that was close. No, he kills the guy peeking ramp.
Oh, boy. All right, we take those.
Wow. All right. Nico at bat in middle, double kills made easy. And this was a purchase back out of FaZe Clan. They didn't have a lot to work with, and it's even less now so. Kixan.
It was a minor opportunity. I mean, there were majority deaths there last round, but they know the buy was going to be pretty strong here from the Falcons.
Not as clean as the P250. Frozen finds nothing with the Desert Eagle, and Dexter hears a Liege on the approach. Falcons send FaZe a swift reminder. That pistol is moot. If you can't convert it, that's a 2-1 lead early here for the defense.
A lot to do with Nico as well. Pervasive with his boosts. Very good activity on the map here for the CT side. And although a clutch goes the way of FaZe, it's technically 3 very strong positions created out of Falcons.
Giving Nico a chance to get some early impact in with that connector hold.
Looks like it's less of an idea, more of a stress break here for FaZe. Think about what comes next.
Stress break into Hail Mary. Anybody able to get out? No, sir. Easy cleanup here for the Falcons. So that's still great hold. All 5 alive. TSS up to a 6-1. Padding the stats on the anti-eco as he comes in as the second highest rated player in the series. It's still Degster and TSS. The two of them putting the work in. Nico not far behind them. Be happy to bank on their performances if it means grand finals again for Falcons. Here we go. A little bit delayed. FaZe Clan have guns.
Kerrigan had a fantastic map back on Ancients. Second highest on his team in terms of kills. And especially those late map frags. And he goes out in the open. Oh, no.
Okay. See ya.
Was no real fallback opportunity right there. I mean, it's possible Rain misses that chance, but it was definitely at the advantage. Congregation of T's here on the ramp. And a smoke to make it feel like it could be a cat split, but they've got Degster in ladder with vision on middle.
So smoke on Palace, but not on ramp, and I think that's an invitation here for FaZe. Frozen and Elige to try to join forces. They tried to do all the heavy lifting back on Ancient just to push it over the line. TSS makes contact, that's bomb confirmed, but Body's ahead of it. Nice reaction out of Degster. Not gonna miss that chance. Man advantage taken back, if not only momentarily. We get evened out. Magisk and TSS, they combine for damage on the Palace play, but Elige is gonna push through smoke. He goes off of the bench play. Bomb planted his direction, and that top ticket play out of Magisk now, he's looking to stamp his name on this round, and Elige distracted, but he knows Degster's gotta be over here somewhere, and the op won't miss its second shot either. Falcons keep on winning.
Yeah, very, very smart moves from Degster. I mean, extreme patience when it came to middle. They had a lot of teammates alive. It's his vision that gave Falcons the opportunity there on A to play it slow, keep 3 players around, smoke Palace, and wait. And they knew that hit was going to come in. Lurker got killed by Degster.
I like the decision making there from Magisk. Goes for the win on the climb up. Magisk will continue to play a key role in this series if anchoring A will become a routine. We saw the Mongols body him off of a great performance from MZino. It's not even like he made mistakes, he just couldn't get his game going with the time to kill offered up.
Yeah, that was a real skill diff, man. They were both looking like they were playing so well, and MZino still just outdid him every single peak. So it's going to be light and fast into... Oh, actually, no, it's not a B-site hit. It's just... Nades to make it feel that way. This is to pull the cat rotator off so you can sneak into connector. There's actually no one even here.
Nico gets into position in time despite the Tech 9 dink. All good. And you've got TSS to just cheat the edge of the smoke. Falcons take a small sigh of relief here. 5v3 looks good versus Pistols.
It'll be hard to assist a chance at a plant, even with this lead into window. Too many players all can watch their passive spots around the perimeter. Oh my goodness.
Nico opting.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
Wow.
Is a hell of a deagle shot from Frozen, who nearly lines up into the spray there for Magisk, but Degster supports 1 death on Nico. It's just every time he touches that op, something tragic happens.
A great shot gets hit on him.
He really should know better by now.
5 straight for Falcons.
You said it, though. You said it at the very beginning of this game. You said, even if this game starts 12-0, we still have to believe in FaZe. It's contractually Obligated.
I mean, because of the proof in this series. You know, if it was just yesterday or something, that'd be something else, but we just saw what FaZe did. One of the best comebacks of the year.
Not allowed to write them off twice preemptively. You gotta wait for that result to hit the board, and right now it's results on this A site that FaZe really want. Remaining adamant about hitting this half of the map. Nico gonna slide in, catches a nade in Kerrigan's hand. Then the other two answer. Elige, beautiful headshots coming out from him, and Frozen finds Magisk, so the A site's open.
Oh, that nade.
On Kixan. That is what they're looking to tap into. Big entry attempt from Elige delivers.
Yeah, and Elige back on Ancient as well. Like, again, even when he was like 15 and 15 critical impact, his kills are starting the round out. It's going to be his entries. He gets really far out there sometimes where it's not in a tradable spot, but like you see the aim, man, and then that's how they want to weaponize him. That's the kind of player you want to give some freedom to. It's pretty interesting to think about the person that Elige is. So methodical. I remember him and Naf talking about each other, and like Naf is such an intuit when it comes to CS, and he has like a flow chart, but he couldn't even really verbalize it. He's all the rounds he's played, he's just got the idea. He knows how to, you know, sneak into different situations. And Elige, on the other side of it's writing down the flow charts, taking notes, thinking about exactly how he's going to approach everything. And yet he chooses and is an aggressive player, you know, the higher volatility play style, the one that has just more variance in every single round. And he really commands it.
Just really prefers to be the person who kicks off that flow chart.
One of the few pros that has an aim coach, and it's definitely less common in CS. And well, you see, there's like multiple situations where the practice routines that they use on refrag, you know, Elige will put it on display in a live match.
Vertigo spray down.
Yeah.
I think still remains like the best example. That was a walking commercial. TeSS, a walking corpse. We still got Dexter floating around bottom middle. He's not getting out of here anytime soon. He's gonna fight his way to connector. That's where Kerrigan's gonna stop him. Frozen also just returned the kill back onto Kixan. That means B site open. That means Nico scrambles. And if he wants to cut off Cat, that's one thing, but you've already got a player back on bench.
Yeah, and Nico knows that something's wrong. We'll see about this peak right here. Okay. Beautiful. Oh, and suddenly they can't simply go B. They got to come at this one a little bit more slowly. But how do they get Falcons to doubt this setup? Nico's fighting for info. Oh, and he gets caught jumping up.
On the jump up.
He makes that play because I think in the back of his mind he's assuming they're not going to try to take this, and that he can clear out B and guarantee that to Magisk and then work on a flank. And now FaZe, because of that information, they're respecting this. This is one of those spots that even if they did go back to B, if they go back to A, they really just need to wait, because you have to create both timings in the head of the CT. And here, Magisk will be very happy to see that smoke, but we'll see if he even ends up just saving and bench, or if he runs his way over towards the A site. But he is far from the action.
Dexter's ops down in connector. Magisk's gonna take a swing at this. He's got the kit. He's got 30 seconds still on that bomb. But FaZe don't give him a thread to pull on, and so Magisk has to concede it. That first wave of util had him hoping, but out-positioned FaZe Clan to take a third. Maybe he tries to swoop the op away at the end, but damn, it started well. Dexter, 2 critical op shots in a dangerous position as well. Really thrust himself forward as the playmaker.
Yeah, that was cool. I mean, love that he didn't just fall back and could have got spammed in the smoke if he did.
Terrorists win.
And just not going to even try to go for it, actually.
All right, lets it slide. There's a nice amount of money here still. 8,000 for Degster, 7,300 on Magisk.
At least he guarantees keeping that gun.
But that is a Kerrigan 2K response in that round. Started slow again, Kerrigan, but when push comes to shove, starting to get a glimpse of what he was offering back over on Ancient. Took over multiple rounds, is arguably one of the bigger reasons as to why we're even here now. Beyond the calling. I like TeSS as a catwalk player, and seeing him off to a strong start could bode well for Falcons hanging on to mid as time goes on. Right now he's facing utility as we also get this pressure out from ramp.
I wonder what they think about this hop. We've got Degster finding a way to get all the way back to CT when he just showed face really close to the A ramp. But if they're not going to hold on to ramp or palace and this goes towards connector, he doesn't really have open lines. It's a weird spot. I think in the back of Falcons' mind, they're, assuming this round is going to end A, an early smoke comes out to B. It's almost serving as a double fake because they're going to walk still towards this.
Well, TeSS is pushing mid, change their mind.
Yeah, I guess that information is undeniable at the end of the day, even though Falcons didn't see anything here.
He's going to the flank, and now the footsteps here. Kicksan's gonna raise the alarm. He can't manage to hold off the first one. Bodies drop down to sight, all empty-handed.
Everyone dies.
3 chances for Falcons, no kills between them. And if only things had been slowed down, then maybe TeSS's flank is just the best of positions, but a little too late to the party. And that bomb is gonna dictate this one. FaZe closed the gap to the 5-4 score.
Crazy entries right there. The early smoke, they still use the tail end of that smoke on Cat to feel confident coming in on the exec. There wasn't anything bad about the way that Falcons approached this. They had full-on mid control. They used TeSS on that flank. They had 3 players to defend B. And for the first, map and a half, it was Falcons winning all the duels in those positions. It was simply FaZe just not showing up mechanically. Well, it looks like that's changed. Closest start to a game so far.
They just dodged the right pieces that last one. Right? You got TeSS who's playing well, but TeSS who's chasing ghosts, and a bomb site that falls before he even gets a chance to swing at them. FaZe may look better mechanically, but TeSS sometimes still looks best.
Looks like Kicksan's got a buy for him on this round anyway. Everyone's got their guns. Five straight for the Falcons, but 3 back, and now the chance to tie up this game for FaZe.
Frozen's going to wind up being the talking point of this match if he continues in this form. 25 and 18 back on Ancient. Best performing player here on Mirage yet again, and somebody we've said looked better thanks to Elijah's inclusion. Speak of Elijah, here he goes, looking yet again to crack open some portion of this map. Bottom mid now confirmed with the trajectory of Elijah's nades. So it makes sense to start dunking frags down on them, and that one is on the money.
Solid utility back and forth.
This shot, Brokey drops the ball. Nico just baits him out. Dexter's gonna find his. Everybody this time the way of Falcons. Just when we start to praise the individual shots, Frozen not yet given his chance until now. He'll get dropped by Dexter. Highlights go both ways. Opening kills with follow-throughs right behind them. Falcons keep that 2-round gap established.
That's a tough round to figure out. There's a chance there, of course, that Brokey could have alleviated some pressure. Open window, and Nico decides to peek, but he doesn't full commit on the swing. Just a shoulder. Nice one here for the Falcons. And a chance to 8-4 this half. FaZe will be broke if they win this round.
Full-blown exec. The follow-through won't be far off behind it. We saw Dexter's impact from Ticket 1 round ago. There you have it. Feel the wrath. Dexter snaps into that pack of players, all emerging out from ramp. Getting into sandwich now at least, but the bomb still lingers further back. And he's gonna test the waters, opening up Ticket. A little skin seen on the other side. Kerrigan toying with the thought of coming through. Will try to pounce. Dexter onto the sidearm. Teammates soon to be with him. Great wallbang comes out from Nico. And that's going to be a Lige out without anybody to fire back at. Brokey to the AK, towards Connector. Gets a good amount of damage in, but the kills all still Falcons. Frozen. A one-man army, not enough. 7-4, retake taken. And that is all helped out by Dexter's consistency to shave off the front runners round after round.
Yeah, often you start Ticket and there's players coming up a ramp. You get one chance to have impact, and then on the retake, you're lucky if you get another kill. Dexter takes that opportunity with both hands. An excellent flick to kick this off, make it a 5v4.
We saw him out of the gate back on Ancient as well, just winning rounds for Falcons, a key part as to why they established that 8-1 lead so early. It tapered off. You used the word nervous. Ever closer to another grand finals. Here he goes again.
Dexter's always got that fire in his eyes. And his overall output is remarkable.
Magisk also a key component of that retake. We see him line up his 2. Basically coming through on cleanup duty. It's both Dexter and Nico, 12 kills apiece. Dexter finds Rain, top middle, down already. This op is in a paradise. And Dexter, blink and you miss it, rotates over towards Ticket yet again. We saw what FaZe were able to do taking over this B site, but not like that, not by walking through smoke. Kicks in on the perfect angle to punish that walkout.
Yep. I mean, now we look at the amount of kills that FaZe have, and it's Frozen with 10.
We saw previously FaZe when they were able to jump out, Kixan along the arch corner, just gets stuffed. He swaps out and it pays off. Brokey can take a swing at this site if he chooses to. He's got the bomb, he's got the Galil, so will Elige. But that smoke on Connector gets Elige ever closer. TessS has this angle held from Van. No reason for TessS to move. But he goes for the jump, he gets a dink. Now both players tagged. Both these CTs this low.
Brokey
Gets blindsided. Kixan will catch him off from the corner. Little recovery coming out of the low health bars, and he's going to play as the insurance policy, diving deep into the apartments. It's an Elige 1v5. Would you believe it? Dexter closes out. That op is omnipresent yet again. You just can't escape him. He is all over FaZe as they go up 8-4.
Fact is, 3 good starts on these maps here for Falcons. You would assume that this catches up to FaZe. Are we going to have 2 miraculous comebacks in one series? I'm thinking about it right now, and I just don't want to say anything stupid.
I think you said what you had to at the very start of this map. Like, even if it was 12-0, we would have to give them a benefit of the doubt. They have shown us today they can tap into it.
Yeah.
And then the logic in all of us watching is, yeah, but look at the scoreboard. Barring Frozen, the rest of the team's just not online.
Yeah.
But Kerrigan wasn't there until the later portions of Ancient.
Just a bunch of slow starters on this team with the highest ceiling that you've ever seen.
Meanwhile, Falcons continue to swing.
Let's fucking go, boys. From Betclic. Yeah.
Gotta be feeling confident now if you're the Falcons. You've got Degster doing what he does best. You've got Nico online with that mid presence.
A lot of handsome score lines here.
TSS anchoring enough. Magisk cleaned up on that A site when he was called on. And Kixan never got the camp caught off guard.
Kerrigan flying solo here on the B site.
This incendiary, though, we've seen Tees just disrespect this piece of util when it comes to these B floods. They're going to charge right through it. No problem. Now he's got to hit his shots. He'll find one. TSS drops first. Support by the form of back market door. Kerrigan still hanging on. 2 kills, not half bad, but Nico's able to answer. Now to plant. 3v3. Fast flank out of Elige. And I don't know if they're going to expect this timing. He comes out through the smoke. It's an execution of Kixan. Nico down beneath him. He's firing up above. CT's trying to come at it. It's a 1v3, and he gets denied. Rain comes out with the final kill for the pistol. FaZe win another pistol. They better convert.
Yeah, it's time to look alive, and that's exactly it. It's all about the conversion now. Had to be the clutch in the first half out of Frozen, and then we just saw the sheer power of Falcons. So many consistent fraggers outperforming everyone on FaZe besides Frozen himself.
Holy shit.
You can't not love Kerrigan.
Kerrigan got his.
AK on Nico. Do you believe?
Yeah, the FAMAS on Nico is how they converted the second round after losing the pistol.
Trying to charge through. Frag grenade helps out. You got Nico's AK down now, so the best tool for the job hits the dirt. But there's Degster in with the Tech 9 at the very least. Still 2 kills for FaZe to stomach. 2 rounds between them and Falcons.
Yeah, I mean, majority of life, no bomb plant, no scary situation here. And you see Kerrigan wiggling in his seat, getting ready to make this happen. This game's about to get very tense.
Round by round, that's FaZe. Proki had been showing us better stuff in Bucharest, but unfortunately for him, down to a 3-10 scoreline at the moment. Will he be called on? He'll collect one with the M4. And these Desert Eagles not finding their targets. It is a easy one for FaZe, finally. Easy and FaZe don't usually go in the same sentence.
That lead evaporates, and yeah, with minimal economic damage. More important to do that to the CT side when you're saving over on T. So there'll be a round buffer here. Falcons won't be able to win one and force a save. Let's see if they decide to play this one quickly or erode the defense, which might be a wiser idea on a round like this. Heavy towards connector. I'm a huge fan of this style of defense, like watching for the window lurk, holding for Palace, being able to refrag into middle. Since there's not a lot of great spots to stand here at the top of connector, you know, a player like Nico will be here by himself, but the weakness, of course, is Cat and V, where Kerrigan is an MP9 solo on this side of the map.
TSS ahead of the flashbang.
That's a scary spot.
Yeah, Kerrigan just gave him something to shoot at. Kerrigan very much alone, so to be playing such dangerous games, It's risky business, but he gets away with it and then looks to come and support Catwalk. We get the clearing of the bottom of middle. Elige loses a teammate in the process. TeSS a little late to this party, but he will soon join up with Kixan as they send Degster back to grab bomb.
That's the value of the double connector play. That push was supported really well.
But then they kind of unravel it slightly. You get one player still on stairs in the form of Elige, and then Rain's a bit occupied as that smoke sitting up in the window. Elige better be prepared. There's more fights where the first one came from. His gun's dry, his pistol, it's too much of an ask, and you just got Rain clipped out from the window. Frozen just keeps his head tucked. Down to 15 seconds. Falcons playing with fire, and Frozen, he gets cleared out by Magisk, who just gets the kill from the ramp, and Kerrigan dies empty-handed. Falcons slice up through connector, through that heavy defense after it succeeds in its first attempt, and so Falcons' gap remains at 2.
Yes, that was the hardest route right there with Cat wide open, no one playing ladder room. We had an MP9 alone in B. FaZe got the round they were looking for in A split. They had a lot of players there to defend, but when it came down to the 4v4 and then more great shots being hit, we see again the talent from Falcons shine through. The critical kill in that spot from Magisk as well, up on Tetris. On to Frozen, who has been one of the scariest players in these situations. Oh, that's how that went down. I love this sandbox.
This guy's playing prop hunt. What are you up to in Palace, Magisk? Think he's considering a swing?
Doesn't often go out by himself. You know, it's the kind of spot where you pick your 1 or 2 rounds and a half. You use those very carefully because you just want to be a threat the entire time. Much more effective trading. Usually, you know, if something goes wrong, then you have like a way to ruin the A site in a spot where there's no ticket player. If he gets that to default, you know, he's pretty safe, even if there's other players on the site. But this is information that he doesn't have right now. So past a minute smoke here, it comes out into window. Not an actual A split though, it's all T's. It looks like coming back to the ramp.
Frozen's in the corner and gets deleted.
Perfect, clear.
You put your highest performing player in a critical spot like that. TeSS uses 1 bullet, brains on the wall, and the follow through right here with it. Falcons gunning for the double digits. Kerrigan just peeks in. We talked about his late game performance. Magisk cleared out. Rain reveals himself. Kerrigan continues to stop Falcons in their tracks. The whip around here from Kixan. Layered defense towards connector. Ops got it.
What?
And Kerrigan stands tall.
Who is this man right now between these two maps? Again, as you mentioned, even though he didn't get his kills in the first half, that's the same as Ancient. They keep this one close. It's a fight to the end here between these two teams. Grand finals on the line.
Both teams now out of timeouts. This is the last timeout in regulation in round 18.
No more breaks.
That just, it feels like that's the tipping point for Kerrigan. Does he continue with rounds like that? Can he?
Oh, the HSP is looking good. I mean, it's not just some body shot kills coming in as well.
Driving force of the win on Ancient. Unexpected to say the least, but he stuck the landing. I think simultaneous to the Kerrigan performance, you also had this kind of petering out of Degster.
This is not a sexy buy here from Falcons either. Magisk is the Galil They've got a small amount of utility, enough for a one-layer exec, not anything to bait out utility. There's got to be a commitment behind this smoke once it leaves his hands. Brokey with 5 kills. They aren't going to win this game with Brokey on 5 kills. Here he sits in CT spawn.
We saw the impact Dexter was able to have from similar positions. You've got to replicate your counterpart. Decides to play ahead of it, drops a smoke in the middle of sight. This bomb site is blanketed in smokes. And Brokey unable to connect off the first shot, but they'll pop the smoke open, deny Kicksam the fly over top, and Elige is gonna unleash. Into the pack he'll go. Nico responds. Desert Eagle, the only thing for the Falcons to have connected. And Dexter, oh boy, now you've given him an op.
Uh-oh.
He's gonna turn this back at them.
There you go.
Shot down, and you're now gonna feel the wrath of Dexter if he has it his way. All the while, Nico's Deagle still sat back over towards default. Dodges flashes, missed shot. Now it's back in FaZe's hands. Nico tries to keep his head down. He's surrounded, and he will find nothing else. So FaZe tie up.
Oh, stressful moment there for Brokey. Giving the op over to Dexter. He turns it into a sequence. But it looks like the op was cursed. He misses his shot too. Even after the flash dodge, you know he could have closed that round. That was the winning position for Dexter. But another chance is gifted over to Brokey. As much as we talked about Dexter towards the end of Ancient, maybe misses some opportunities, even when he had a great map, the overall performance from Brokey isn't there. Pressure's affecting everyone. This game is tied. With a full buy-in on both sides, no telling who gets 10 first.
Ton of flashes come over top. Nico is locked in at the moment. His teammates trying to support him with flashbangs of their own. It's a lot of posturing here, but not actual any points of contact. And Dexter doesn't have an op to duel with that of Brokey. He'll have to kill him for it if he wants it again.
Brokey's taking a risk because they have top mid control. They could be walking underpass here, and there's not actually anyone to stop it. But if they don't feel comfortable leaving mid wide open, this is actually the right risk to take. They might walk into this. It looks like they will.
Oh, they could collateral even. Brokey just don't miss.
Oh.
He does again.
That's the chance. That
Luckily
loses
for him, you've got Elige on window. It's not all for naught. Keeping that close proximity of Elige allows him to play off of Brokey, who then gets burned back. No second chances so far for Brokey. Elige sitting on a quarter health. We've got 40 seconds left on this clock, and it's going to be Falcons to at least put Nico in or outside the window.
Awkward moment. They don't want to get jumbled up. They're going to hear this run out, and this is actually Nico's time to go, but Rain is watching it.
It's held. Now, all of a sudden, Tessa stuck in on the stairs. He reveals himself. Rain doesn't have to swing. He's got Brokey behind him. He gets the dink off. Brokey's actually offered the op over to Elige while he sits on low health, and Elige over towards Ticket is now gonna have pressure coming to him. Kerrigan tries to offer up more yet again, and Elige waits, stoically holding, hoping, nobody showing. Down to the 7 seconds, bomb planted, wallbang connects, and as they try to peel away, they know damn well where Elige is at. And they both get back into the ramp so quick, in fact, that it's gonna be a reposition here from Magisk. Dexter has been playing so well. 21 kills, 8 deaths. Sits back and has to wait for Magisk to eventually wrap around. He goes to confirm if the defuse is there, and they will find them off it. Do they believe in this reposition? Magisk fails!
Oh.
Frozen slays him, and leave it to these two on FaZe to pull off a lead.
Oh, with that op on the retake and Elige on a quarter health, they're able to pull off this very unlikely retake. Magisk repositions after he jumps towards a ramp. I think Elige knows that they doubled up. And there was a moment there where they might not have been prepared for Palace. But he peeked out and saw both targets. Oh, it's a flick as well. Aiming for the head on the ramp. And another chance bought for Brokey to get into this game. The op doesn't do anything in his hands, but every time it goes to someone else, they get a kill. to believe that round is coming in for Falcons. They have to take advantage of this opportunity while it exists.
Oh God, that's awkward. They actually kill Rain beside him instead. Rain just a victim of the Elige contact. He tries to swing out. That's insane, but it works. Frozen able to tether off of him. Again, it is those two players to try to hold it on.
Oh, what a position here for Magisk.
The fact he slips down into the first casualty, that's perfect. He's standing on Rain's dead body. Elige continues to try to be the savior. Main character energy paying off, but working with 40 health, certainly not ideal. And they won't know about this Magisk position. I mean, he could approach with caution, but no, he's more concerned about sight. Suddenly man advantage here for the Falcons camp. Degster in the mix. Star power on the line. Magisk wallbang making up for lost time in that one round prior. And Brokey has been a non-factor throughout Mirage. And in this 1v3, will he even get a chance? That's about as impactful as the op has been for him all map long. He will run down this bomb, he will die with time, commits to the cause. We're tied again.
Oh yeah, we're tied again. I don't exactly know what happened there inside of middle. Two players jumping around in the smoke as Falcons were taking it. I mean, Frozen tried his best to save that situation. Elige as well, when Rain died behind him after he got spotted. This game is so close, of course, anything can happen. And we've also seen Falcons come up clutch in close games. Ancient versus MongolZ. That was a match that looked like it was finished. FaZe just happy that this isn't for map point. They've got a full save.
That goes as you'd expect. Desperate swing from Elige. We saw it last round with a much better weapon. Vacant A-bomb site, barring this ticket pack. They don't even have a nade to pop it open. So FaZe just have to play a waiting game. And it's one that will end in their demise. Running forward into the rifles. An easy close here for the Falcons. The fruits of their labor as round 21 goes down smooth.
Yeah, it's a bit of a formality. Honestly, a couple of kills on a round like this would reinforce the buy that's coming up. This one is to defend series point. This one will be max pressure. Again, we are out of timeouts here on Mirage. It will have to be all Kerrigan, all Kixan. Everyone getting into the perfect posture to prepare for round 22. No op in play. Maybe it's a blessing. Sometimes when you're having an off day.
Gonna try again. It's right there for the taking, but Kixan straight up beats him.
Oh.
Galil, from an underperforming in-game leader, Falcons find footing on A with ease. Brokey burning all the way to a Molotov.
He thought he had a place to stand, and with that, it looks like goes map point unless there's a way for a 2v5 retake to take place. But look at the CTs cowering in fear, knowing that they hold the only hope for a chance to bring this game back into the next round if they're allowed to live. It's an honest duel one at the top of mid from Kixan over Elige.
And the saves denied at the end. They're coming for Kerrigans as well. Just hiding and hoping that they'll have anything to work with in the follow-up. Kerrigan hangs on, fights for it. One rifle kept. Incredibly low economy. We're talking less than $3,000 for every single member of FaZe Clan.
Yeah, this would have been one rifle if not for that saved gun, and Kerrigan will be generous enough to give it away.
And who better to wield them? It will be Frozen and Elige coming into this round with M4s. MP9s for the rest.
It's a two-round game just like Ancient, but Falcons, there's been so much parity in the second half. They looked so much better on average.
It's been a close game, but it's also been a 5v4 for Falcons every round, if you catch my drift.
FaZe do not want to give up mid instantly, but last round they fought for it, they lost. If this goes into a late round situation and they've got these MP9s, you can forget about a retake. With no pick play in place, CTs have limited options, maximum fog of war, and a T default that's coming into middle to really expose how weak these guns are.
Down to the double smokes. That forward press FaZe Clan set up in the A site, banks on a Liege, holding off Connector. If he dies, you think the rest of this gets unraveled. It's a patient Magisk waiting in Palace, holding his nerve and awaiting a chance to strike. They will position Nico, who sometimes goes through with this windowsill, other times waits it out. A Liege looking to take a glimpse at this, and he could find them. They're not ready. Nobody's watching.
Oh, he still hit it.
Hands on his head. Rain presses out. That's an upgrade offered over to the Norwegian. And now Brokey also over towards Tetris. He's got to do something because Nico's starting to recover. These defenders on the A site, they've got to somehow bring this back. And they do stop bomb. Brokey, better late than never. Dagster's P250 connects to the next one. Somebody's got to get the plant off. Off shot connected.
Oh!
And there they go. Grand finals.
They might be the team that people like to meme on. People want to see their downfall, but today is not that day. Today they are going back to another PGL finals. Team Falcons does it. It was such a close series, such a close game, but all smiles for the Saudi team.
Yeah, the Saudis just love PGL, it seems like. I mean, what a game